Sorry, we could go on all night. I guess that means we like each other, so that's good.
That's
It
what you
helps.
think.
It certainly helps.
Well, we found ourselves in Valkstad after a little bit of excitement on the road. By the way,
It's a little excitement.
that turned into a lot of excitement, didn't it? I really overplanned my bowman.
A day in the life.
She did
One
fine.
of them, who by the way, was a
Poor
tiefling,
unfortunate souls.
and she, well, I got it. I went down this whole rabbit hole creating them. One of them, the other one that got away was a tiefling, and she had some skills. But anyway,
Well, obviously we have to go hunt her down now, guys. We've got a new plot hook. Let's go.
but
Find the
anyway,
mysterious teeth.
I should have typed that this week, but I was actually kind of busy this week, so I apologize. We find ourselves in Valkstad. Would anybody like to update us on where we're at? Because I need a refresher too. Because I remember us getting to Valkstad, and
Last I remember, we talked to... I can't remember the dude's name. The blue
That's
giant.
right.
We had just figured out kind of sort of his deal, and we were about to go find out the location or the last seen locations of the wife and kid.
Yeah, so
Is my understanding?
Sandwalker.
Oh, well, no, actually, no, correction. We were in the building. We saw the town claw marks on the railing. We asked a couple different questions. He pointed at someplace, another city, or another part of the city that was further off from Valkstad, where we could see where a different temple was.
So it's still in Valkstad. It was just a temple kind of across the way.
Yeah.
That he suspected the servants of Jord to have
A particular sect of worship of Jord that seemed to have been giving issue of some kind.
No, I think just general suspicion of the clerics of Jord or the Church of Jord having been the ones that...
Yeah, looking at my notes now, I have mysterious small bird feathers made of some odd material.
Big small.
Oh,
Big small.
yeah, okay, I remember now.
So we had those that we could potentially ask about in the town or otherwise, because we felt kind of hard to miss a big bird unless you're Sesame Street. But
yeah, so
other
we're
than
kind
that,
of thinking of trying to walk around and ask anyone if they saw this thing flying in, and maybe we can get a bead on where it came from.
might be a few people that flip us the bird because we're bothering them, but
those will be little birds. We need a big bird.
Is it if a giant flips you off? Is it a big bird or a little bird?
So we had that, and then I think that's about it as far as our leads go. We each got some feathers, just as I don't know if we could possibly use those for anyone who has sort of like a finding spell, you know, perhaps someone who could do a find object or something for a similar feather.
Are you hinting at asking some of your more magical friends if they have this capability?
I was thinking, actually, I didn't know Flint had that. That's a good question. I know we've looked into find object sort of spells in the past.
Listen, I've been learning a few tricks here or there, but I don't have the ability to track something myself.
You know,
I don't have that ability yet either. I mean, that would be a good gadget to invent sometime. I'll look into that. It seems a little bit beyond my capabilities, though.
You know, it might be amusing if we went and talked to the clerics of Jord and asked them if they knew that sort of thing, and showed them the feathers and just tried to gauge reaction and just say, hey, we were looking for a great large bird that might sport this sort of plumage.
I might be a good businessman because I come to the table with my cards in my hand and don't need to worry about what cards they have because I have a good plan set out. On that note, I have no idea what's going on in the mind of most people I'm talking to, let alone noticing subtle facial differences. Even among dwarves, that's hard for me. Humans, it's even worse.
I have a piercing insight.
I like your character.
Piercing insight.
Piercing. I just see through the veil of deception that Innie tries to throw in my path.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Am I telling the truth or not right now?
Yes.
That's fine.
He didn't actually say anything, so just...
Good answer, laddie.
Is this statement
The sky
false?
is red.
Well, actually, can we even see the sky? We're inside of a mountain.
We can see the sky.
Can we?
Remember, you can see the sky all on one side.
Well, obviously,
We're not-
that's a lie.
Yeah, that's a very bad lie. If
Oh,
you
it's something about
Let's
yourself.
have a roll off, Jasper.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to learn how to lie, you have to, come up with something that's plausible.
Tell us 2 truths and a lie, and we'll see if we
There you
can
go.
figure out which one's the
There
lie.
you
Okay.
go.
I've never kissed my fiance.
Okay.
I've never been caught pickpocketing. I've never... I've never drank in alcohol.
That's big 3. All right, is that 3 insight checks or
Oh, that sounds miserable.
just 1? Do you want to do 3
Is it-
insight checks or just 1?
Is it 1 to just determine which is the lie?
Yeah.
I imagine.
It's up to Bran, I guess. I don't know.
Let's just do 1. Keep it simple.
Okay.
All right, here we go. 12.
11.
18 deception.
Ah,
So,
are you sure
Well, you
they're
don't
not
know.
all lies?
You
I
don't
suspect
know.
they're all lies. All right, which
Nope.
one was it? Which one was which were true and which one was the lie?
I've never kissed my fiance.
Oh, that's very sad.
That is if you believe that one.
Argus got a 20
And
and
I
he's
just
just
turned and
smiling
walked
to
off
himself.
with that.
I don't think I kissed my wife before we got married either. I don't see anything. Oh, wait, you're an elf, though. That is weird. Because, from what I understand, elves love the whole kissing thing when they're in love, but...
I've never kissed my wife.
Argus, are you married?
No.
Insight check.
Oh, there you go. I kind of suspect Hargus has a couple wives, and,
Do they know about each other? Is
Yeah.
my question.
Yeah, Argus goes, "No, I do not have a wife."
he's telling the truth.
Half truth.
I never forget my marriage when I married all 3 of my wives.
Never forgot a single marriage. Never had a divorce either. Oh gosh.
Well, they all did different things.
He's a marriage swindler.
Maybe that's a mysterious secret.
That explains the
That's
woman,
the woman.
that
That's
we
the
met.
woman. That was
Explains one of them.
one of their sisters or something found him. All right.
So we go to the temple, gauge their expression.
Argus
And it was very
suggests
good.
along the way, perhaps we should question a few people, maybe even drop into a few bars, see if anybody has any... I mean, it's a good distance.
Yeah.
So there's bound to be some place to wet your whistle, and surely if somebody has a story to tell, it would already made it to the drinking establishments.
Yeah, we'll try and question people along the way. I think that's
It's been
Can
3
use the
days.
drink myself.
It has been 3 days, but yeah, it's time for stories to spread.
Strike while the iron's hot. See if people have drunkards or otherwise. Should we split up then? We have a destination in mind.
I say
you can
we
make one.
we split into 2 groups. Say me and Jasper and you and Hargus. And we each I don't want to be
You need a
too
dwarf
spread
in each
apart.
party,
A
otherwise
dwarf
it
in
will
each-
look odd.
I think that
That's
does make
exactly what I was thinking. In
I
Valkstad
can
of all places. And that way we're not too spread out, but we can, if some of these older dwarves only speak dwarvish, so,
I
a
do
little bit of
speak Dwarvish.
translation there.
Or when they're drunk,
Only speak Dwarvish when in their
I speak Dwarvish, drunk Dwarvish too.
It's a subtle dialect.
Quite fluently.
And we'll just stop at any tavern on the way to the temple and
I speak it even better on Scotch. So.
All right.
Dwarvish
Well,
Scotch.
I guess you'll take the northern side of the districts. I'll take the southern side of the districts.
Sounds good.
All right.
works for me.
Start
And by
moseying.
yeah,
There's innumerable little places that you can stop in, you know, big and small. Most of them are just holes that have a keg open.
as
wine.
we and Hargis walk off, I turn to Hargis and I say, "So you're pretty proficient in dwarf, right?"
Correct?
Okay, you'll be fine on your own. I'm going down under and checking from there.
Right. Off you
Catch
go.
later. And then,
You need any drinking money?
oh no, I'm good. I got some contacts.
All right. Hargis is going to pop out his loot and wander into bars,
Let's start playing.
cock his leg, and lean right into a door.
Jasper's gonna take
Just
one
to find
of
out
the,
it has a low ceiling.
Yeah.
Dwarves! Ah!
Jasper's gonna take one of the larger, colorful feathers and just kind of preen it out a little bit and tuck it into his green cap.
You can roll a perception, just a casual perception if you like.
Yeah. Nope.
No? Okay.
9.
Well, it is. Well, what did you roll?
6.
Oh.
Turn that 9 upside down, baby.
Well, most of y'all don't notice much.
Nope. And we roll for it too. That's the thing.
I know, right?
Like, oh gosh.
Well, it'll reveal itself later, I'm sure.
Should be fine. Have you ever been to any of the places around here, Flint? Have you spent much time in your environment?
Are we, Scott? Are we DM? Are we in the sort of like the outer districts of Valkstad by the bazaar, or where are we?
Map.
Very unlikely that you're in the inner districts because of their whole nobility thing.
Yeah. So are we just kind of in the lower class
sort of district
areas?
Or heading.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the map. I don't have an actual map of Valkstad.
There's
Is there
no
a
map
map
of
of
Valkstad yet.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm
Just kind of
envisioning.
descriptions,
I have my
envisioning.
own idea.
Yeah.
Of course, the Cat Keep, or what did we decide it was called? The castle.
Stronghold?
Yeah, the stronghold is, looks like it's birthing out of the mountain itself. And, of course, the mountains travel on around from there. But you're traveling, of course, the most of the nobles are nobler, higher, what do you call it? The nicer buildings and stuff are clustered around the palace. And as you travel out, they get smaller and, on to this side, they actually are higher. I guess there's not really a middle income, but it's more merchants and well-to-dos, and they just less and less prosperous. And the most of the poorer sections of the city are to the what would be the north, I suppose, from here. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I've
south.
passed through here.
You're
I've
going
passed
kind of north. It would be south for
Okay.
the poorer districts.
I've passed through here a few times. I've never been too far into Valkstad except when I passed through to meet you guys in Jord's garden. Usually we went around because we couldn't afford the lava barge. But so I've seen mostly this side of Valkstad and the opposite, not really the middle. And so yeah, there's a few good taverns here.
I mean, you might notice that most of the dwarven houses, the family houses, tend to try to climb the side of the mountain and are trying to, be in touch with the mountain as opposed to the freestanding buildings that the poor people have.
Call me crazy, but I feel like dwarven pubs, maybe especially, would have like subtle indications over the top of like preferred customers. So like they'd have like a little gear
Are you seeing
and a green leaf for a bar that's like particularly friendly towards gnomes and elves, or it would only be two massive hammers with lightning bolts to send the signal like, you know what, if you're not a dwarf, you should probably just stay out of this bar. You know, things like
You
that.
see a lot of that. You see
You
a
can
lot of that in the
usually
trade
tell.
areas.
You can usually tell by the height of the door.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
If they got two different doors, you know, and things
If it's a dwarf-sized door, usually it's dwarves only. And if you go in and they don't have the gnome chairs,
right.
probably best to just
Well,
keep.
there's references on the signs. I mean, they're not so much
like they don't care about being PC.
segregated, but you know,
Yeah.
the dwarven bars are going to involve, you know, dwarven things.
Honestly, though, most times
Bolts and
they just
hammers.
expect you to realize once you go in and take a drink that you can't handle dwarven brew, or it's just too bitter for you. So most places just expect you to
Figure it out on your own.
Hey,
figure it
dwarven
out, and then they won't
IPAs.
have to see you very
Jeez
long
Louise.
anyway.
Did Hargis
So-
meet back up with them?
Hargis.
Oh, sorry.
Material.
Hargis is just there at the same place you guys are. It's like, wait, where's Brad?
He has his foot up on a rail, and he's like, "Whoa, dwarves on the IPAs."
All right. Well, tell you what. Why don't you pick out what seems like a good one, Flint, and we'll give it a go. We'll see what they got here.
Well, I mean, are you thinking one of the common ones, a poor one, dwarves only, humans only?
How many stories up was that room we were at? It was.
Most of the common ones you're going to find here are going to be a little more prosperous. They're not going to be. Most of your low places would be around the bazaar and further to the south as you start heading towards the ocean. I know we're not close to the ocean, but as heading towards exiting the city on that side. Yeah.
Let's just look for.
I mean, there are some dives here, but you have to almost live here to find them.
Sure.
So
let's just look for one that seems like they'd be friendly towards newcomers. Perhaps one with a lot of trade. Maybe if there's one that tries to appeal to local tradesmen and the like, or something.
Tradesmen. Well, there's the miner's coin. We could try there. They have the best mushroom stew that you have ever tasted.
I do love mushrooms.
And so if I might grab a bowl of that if we're going there, because I haven't been there in quite a while. So
yeah,
that's oddly appropriate for miners.
Yeah. I'm just thinking the sort of place where people might be talking shop while they eat and that sort of thing. You know, maybe they could be.
Yeah, miner's coin sounds like a good place.
There's like a pub on nearly every corner. I mean, that's what you do, right? Especially at lunch.
Yeah.
And there's every kind of, courier and furrier and farrier and, carriage. There's plenty of workman places to go into.
All right.
There's all sorts of tradesmen. There's people going about driving carts and all that stuff, and they all want to eat.
Yeah. What was it?
I'll do my best to navigate to the miner's coin, the common bar for merchants and stuff.
There's an artisan center, which is not too far away, so you'll see those guys going into places. In other words, every kind of tinker, every kind of, metalsmith and jeweler, artifice of one sort or another.
All right.
I don't much like those folks. They talk too much about what their latest invention is, and I learned long ago that nobody cares unless they ask you first. Like you, I knew that you would be interested in that sort of thing, but that group, not really my type.
I mean, you pass one block, there's a bar where you see obvious apprentices going in and out of by their age. It's all there.
All right.
We'll make our way to the one that has the good mushroom stew.
The good mushroom stew.
There you go.
The miner's coin. Miner's coin. What is that? A common device used in mining? A coin of some sort, or how does that relate to the miner's coin?
No, it's just look at this. Look at the sign there. See, it's just sort of little wordplay. Brings to mind the traders as well as trading coin with one another. So.
Gotcha.
There's an old lantern that took enchanted coins that you drop the coin into and it would light up.
Yeah, of course. Dwarves rent out lamps, and you have to give it coins to power.
You would actually have to buy enchanted coins
while you're mining
when
for
you
the
drop it would illuminate.
Yeah, basically.
It's still around.
And by definition, you can only use it so long before it gets really heavy, and you have to return it, and only they can open it to empty the coins out for the pay, and then you can rent it for another day or whatever.
If you don't use gold, you find yourself in a mine where your coin is burnt out and you're without light. So.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's perfect. Yeah. So the symbol on the front of this place is this old lantern lit up, and there's like a big coin going into a slot on the side, like you pushed in,
It has the iron trademark.
I just invented a thing.
They say that the inventor of the coin lantern started this establishment, but I think that's just trying to get street credit. I think they just go off of because it looks nice, it's a cool name, that sort of thing.
And by all reports, the inventor of the coin lantern would be a millionaire, right? He would just have rolling into
he wouldn't start a tavern down here in the Brim. He'd be way in the center of the mountain in the big cavern where the big
they'll never suspect the double dip that I
did. where all the big beards live. So
all right, let's get a bowl of this stew and see if we can find someone worth questioning in here.
All right.
I preen the feather as I walk in.
It'd be very interesting if another adventuring party came forward and started questioning you guys because you're the most suspicious individuals inside the bar.
I noticed
we both are all coy and questioning. Just
who wants to know?
There's a tavern keep, several young men and young women tables, and they're all, obviously related, and they're more than bustling around. You see the soup on the hearth,
on the kettle,
keeping warm.
That smell brings back memories, making my mouth water. Let's get a bowl and go find somebody to sit by and see if we can. People here are usually pretty friendly because they want you to buy stuff. So let's sit down with somebody and start a conversation. Barkeep, two bowls of stew, please.
Hey, we're bringing the stew, and he yells at one of those girls, Helga, and she bustles over and she's carrying him like a classic barmaid. And she said, "You want beer with that?"
Of course, I want beer. Do you want beer, Jasper?
I'll have a beer. That'd be great.
Gnome-sized and a dwarf-sized one, please.
He just sets two mugs out.
Same. All right.
Fills them, and the girl brings them over along with the soup. I don't think they have any straws. Sorry.
Bread bowl? Is bread bowl with like a cream of mushroom kind of?
Yeah, it's apparently they like to melt bread on it, and they give you good, hearty, crusty black bread, and it goes good with beer too, as a matter of fact. And it's everything they promised.
Go get some cream of mushroom soup in a bread bowl. You guys are great, but I gotta get some. Gotta get some soup.
Kind of feel you. Yeah, that's one of my favorites, by the way.
Jasper eats half of the soup and the lid of the bread bowl before he drinks some of that beer. he's got a long day ahead of him, and he's got.
We might be doing a bar crawl here. He's gotta pace himself.
Yeah. The bread is coarse and good, fresh, and it's a good meal. It's everything they promised, and there's people all around you bustling and talking. They're in good moods. They're eating. Obviously, the workmen are tired, and the merchants are just talking their business. And everybody's open for approach if you're interested. You actually hear somebody talking about all these treasure hunters running around asking questions.
Treasure hunters. Does he say it
Well,
loud enough for
they're referring to these bounty people.
Yeah, so we're not the only ones out here looking for this thing, are we?
Mostly they're kind of cursing them. You don't see their kind in here, but, they're cursing them because they're nosing into everybody's business.
Friggin' gnomes.
I know, they're the worst. Actually, I was curious, I'll ask the Helga, as she comes over, if there's anyone around who deals with animal trade or large animals or anything like that.
Well, other than the barrier and the stable down here, and don't know the name of the street. What would we call this area? Other than the stableman, I have no idea.
All right.
Most of the animal handler type people would be closer to the bazaar, coming in with going out with the caravans. There's all sorts of exotic animals down there.
Oh, in the bazaar. All right, that does make sense. All right.
Of course, the wealthy always have their menageries, but they have their own men to keep those.
Sure. Menagerie. I suppose that. All right. Flint, anyone around here you want to talk with?
Let's try making a friend, and I'll come over and just sit by one of the guys who's talking about that, and just be like, "Oh, jeez, these bounty hunters, am I right?"
What do you want?
Yeah, and the fellow, he's got his cup. It's obvious he's been here all. Yeah, and my brother, he says that there was some kind of ruckus over the city the other night. And he came up with they were dropping things and squealing and got him up. And he said, it's all ridiculous rubbish.
Really? The ruckus over the city, he said, huh?
Yeah, something about some great flying beast and making screaming noises like a woman. And shedding all sorts of things. He even claimed to have seen a shoe that the beast dropped. A flying beast with tiny little women's feet. It's ridiculous.
Tell me more.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Where did he see this supposed flying beast? Out of curiosity.
I'm thinking.
I'll pour some of my beer into his mug and just say, "Another one over here, please."
Don't mind if I do. You realize he's got like two teeth to strain it through, and they don't quite line up. But he's like, "Oh, I don't mind if I do." And he goes on and he tells you, "Oh, right here on this very street, my brother just lives yon. He lives in the upstairs above his shop, selling tobacco and other things you shouldn't do, like as according to your mother, but whatever. Too. I think I'm turning into Flint there for a minute.
It's dwarf accent, so understandable.
It's like when you drop a Jamaican accent; they all kind of sound the same.
I'll just kind of, he
doesn't have any other
make up stuff like that and talk to this guy a little bit, just kind of.
Well, he doesn't. He'll talk to you as long as you'll talk to him and you share your beer. He doesn't have any other real information. The most pertinent thing he has is where his brother lives, and he said his brother comes in here every day, or he goes to the pub on the end of the street if he's not there. He's retired, he's got the cold to seep into his back, and he doesn't work like he used to. Now he just sits at his shop and tends things. He's working on a shed, though. Apparently sheds are something that old men here are into. They're all building a shed in the back. The man shed, you know. Where they can get out of the house.
I guess
Well,
I can't call it a man cave. That would be too weird for dwarves.
A bit on the nose.
It is a cave, so they just call it a man shed, and it's metaphorical, just like the
Man cave is.
but flipped. Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
it's
it's good
not,
talking to
he'll go on
you, my friend.
Yeah,
I'll
the
eat
beer
my
thing.
I'll eat all my soup, drink all my beer, and then just kind of look at Jasper, just be like, "See anybody else you want to talk to?" Definitely gives us a start to what we should.
Yeah. No,
to.
absolutely. I think that's a good way to go.
I think without even rolling insight, you can determine that most of the locals will have some story at this point about the excitement of the other night where something flew over the city. Either they, my brother, sister's cousin saw this.
So everyone's kind of getting around to it eventually, huh?
Apparently it had tiny feet because somebody found a shoe. Yeah. Obviously one of them succubus.
Yes.
I didn't know they grew that big.
Ah.
How do you like the stew, Jasper?
Oh, it's amazing. Hearty portions as well. This will probably keep me covered until past supper at the very least. But no, it's great.
Are you gonna finish yours?
I don't know if I'm able, with the time constraints that we have. If I could. So if you feel like you could finish it off, by all means.
No, well, if you're not gonna finish it, then I'll. It'd be a shame for this to go to waste.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for my second wind there, but I need the moment. Been living off crickets for so long; it's not a lot of volume in there.
I'll finish the
Not there.
When you had nothing but carbs for the last while, and then you swap to something hearty meat-wise.
I'll drink the rest of his stew and eat the entire bread, like both bread bowls. Just like okay. Well, now I've got energy for detective work.
It's a hearty bowl, and it's like they make it like eternal stew. They just keep it on there and just add to it. There's even a little beer in it. You see them dropping it in there.
Maybe on the way
instead
back,
of water.
If we need to warm up, we can stop off here on the way back to the hotel.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I'll burn this off pretty fast.
And of course, it's a thing. Everybody brags on theirs the best in town.
That legendary
it's a hot
dwarvish metabolism of
clean and natural.
There's a place off Copper Street. They say theirs is the best. Too much salt. You don't need that much salt in stew like this. But this, delicious.
Just screaming
All
for
right.
more salt in the corner. I need more salt over here. Give me some more salt.
It's not as good as the one on Copper Street.
Get out of here then.
I don't know if that's something you want to voice that unless you're at the other place.
Well, I wonder how Hargis and Branbrek are getting on.
Those two together, I'm sure they're doing amazingly. I mean, they balance each other out. One's shortcomings is the other's strengths,
Hargis is upside down, hanging from the chandelier with his pants down, singing a ballad, and just like drunk off his vodka, and they're just having a party. And then it swaps to Brand, and he's like, "All right, lay them down."
You're the bubbling noise when
You
he
hear a
passes.
familiar George and Gregory. Nuts! Fine, take your stuff, you frickin' swindler.
Hargis did find somebody with a similar story.
Yeah.
And a direction, which was pretty much the way we thought.
Towards the
Right.
people.
He rolled a 20,
So we'll just keep,
so
we'll just
pretty
keep
definite.
checking occasionally as we go along and head that way, I guess.
I guess at this point, you do hear that story quite a few times. And as far as the guy who said it, I believe his name was Ben. Yeah, Baron, he gets around, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's a bit of a beer moocher.
Trying to leverage that story for a beer in every place in town.
Right. And then the name changes. Right now, what you're really looking for is more detail. And that story is pretty much, you've got all the details from it.
Yeah.
And then, so you're just going to continue on. If you want to roll to see maybe if you detect something else.
We'll see if Bran gets anything on his.
Yeah, we can cut scenes to Bran and let him have a chance for a little.
Yeah, let's see.
For just a second. Sorry.
Go try and find some gambling den or something like that to try and get some info out of some guys over cards, or.
We just talked about kidnapping. Kidnappings are only useful for either slavery or something else, so I'm going to check with that group of people, see if anybody has made a request or has hired anybody on the down low for such things. And if needs be, I have a low-level contact from that I could spend for this, where, scum and villainy kind of contacts to be like, hey, I need to know the latest information. Is there anybody searching for, is there any jobs, any hires, or anything going on with the Jord's Temple, that specific one? Things about big birds, kidnappings, any habits that way, and just find out what I can do in
looking for slimy
Craigslist. If you're willing to spend some coin, you can up your percentage quite a bit on
normal Craigslist, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You will hear that in the circles you're going in that Jord's Temple isn't hiring anybody. They have a whole group of toughs they brought in. There's a bunch of new priests that apparently are wearing chainmail underneath their robes.
Sold out all the normal ne'er-do-wells.
The thieves take note of this especially, so, Yeah, I don't think I would mess with any of those fellows. They're packing heat, you see.
Usually the thieves get really perturbed when people get on their turf, so they either have a bit of power underneath their belt or they're being backed by somebody else. Alright, I'll take what information I can out of that contact. Let me mark that off.
I think you're just chatting with your underground guy.
And he'll tell you the same stories. He'll tell you 3 different sources. How much coin are you spending?
This is.
Your contact?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is one of the underground contacts that I acquired forever ago from Town Time.
Okay. Well, as a matter of fact, he does know something. He knows of 3 different washerwomen who were out hanging laundry that night.
I'll be right back.
All have a similar story of something flying overhead. These great goofy sounds and the scream. And at least one of them said there was a young woman squealing, not necessarily screaming, but was heard.
Okay.
The great shadow, here's the story. Great shadow passed overhead, and I swear it was a dragon. Flew over in these great slow beats of wings and not area sound, except for the squeal of a young woman.
Okay.
And it was one beast, apparently. And all of them, they don't have a direction or destination, but they know in the general direction.
Okay, but it was towards that temple.
Well, they all name the same street. That street that Jasper and Flint are on is let me just make a name for it. Is Rolling Road.
Rolling Way Road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is known because it used to be
some gnome that named it.
It used to be Noble Way, but they changed it when they built a new Noble Road.
That sounds like the politicians that I know in Dwarven Kingdom.
But
can't have a noble road in the merchants district. We gotta have it up in the noble district. How dare they, pompous fools?
there you go. And well, anyway, most of the stories all originated in the general area of that road,
Okay.
which is a pretty wide thoroughfare for a big city, but not as wide as the new road, Noble Road.
Cobblestones aren't as
Good
well
enough.
placed either.
Alright, well, I'll just take that information since I know that they're armed. It's new priests at the Temple of Jord there, which we might be able to play to our advantage that way with pretending to be from a different branch coming over. It may pay. Bran is thinking this. It may pay to visit another Temple of Jord or the main temple and see if they've lost contact with that one, or what if they've had any issues with that place.
Well, you know,
This. So
Jasper and them will pick up because they are meeting a lot of artisans and stuff. You know that there has been some over the last year. There's been a bunch of renovation at that temple. They've been tearing down walls and expanding the building on the inside, like digging into the mountain and whatnot. You know, there's rumors that the place is built on an old foundation. You know, and that they just basically cleared the foundation and rebuilt this new temple, and you know, every kind of gossip you can imagine, and all the things they found, and the secrets revealed, and you know, Ord's great book was found there, and all these different crazy things.
yeah. All right. Well,
And these are things that Jasper and Flint would have heard too. You know, anybody that they'll buy a beer for will tell you everything they know. And there's every story, and they get to revisit old stories that aren't getting them beers anymore. They are new in town, so
okay. Well, I'll go from there then.
We said we were going to meet up at what? The Rusty Pick, right? Didn't we say we were going to meet at the Rusty Pick at the Rusty Pick Inn and Tavern? Is where we're all going to meet up again, I think.
Doesn't
sounds good to me.
Doesn't sound familiar to Bran. Good luck finding him again.
Pretty sure we all established that before we split up that we'd be.
I thought we'd be meeting up at that temple area.
Yeah. Well, I figured that's really close to the temple. Probably the closest one we knew about.
Good luck finding this tree among the forest.
Yeah.
Lost the 20-sided.
Oh.
It's going to distract me. Can't stand not getting them.
Just got under the couch full of dice.
Yeah. That side of the pool table. More likely.
All right, so just head back that way and try and meet up near the temple then, whichever corner.
I guess, Brand, if you want to make just an easy perception check when you get back with Flint and Jasper, you can. Oh, and Argus.
You say easy.
I know.
But for me...
The bird's going to slap you in the face.
Well, I mean, that was better than I expected. 6.
Oh. Well, nope. That's good. All's good in the world.
At least the 7 wasn't a 1 when I first saw it, because otherwise it would have been a 0.
Yeah. Well, Hargus actually did see another adventuring group trying to investigate.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm wasting all my 20s. I rolled 2. And Hargus found another investigating group and fed them a story.
Nice.
Maybe I'll just about going down to the caravans where they're selling noble women.
Next campaign, we're all monks and clerics and druids, so that way we have high perceptions, but no intelligence to figure out anything.
We see everything and understand nothing.
What do you think this does? I don't know. Looks odd, though. Touch it.
Look what I can do! But, you didn't discover anything much more than y'all did. He did meet some other people that did witness it, but it was the same story. A great shadow passed over the moon, which was, as y'all know, still pretty bright because it's just coming off the Three Sisters moons from a couple of days ago. Mm-hmm. And that was the main note. There was a lot of people, especially washerwomen and, wives doing late night chores outside real quick, and what am I trying to say? Stable boys, tending animals and stuff, and noticed there was something flew over the moon, and lots of dragon suggestions, but didn't make the noises or behavior of a dragon.
And one individual that no longer uses public restrooms.
That's right.
So, sounds like you found pretty much what we discovered, Bran. Although it's interesting, this information about the new guards. That's
the new guards, heavily armed.
A bit worrisome, actually.
Doing reconstruction and other things, which we confirmed on, but the fact that they're armed, it makes me wonder if the other divisions or sects of Jord's worshippers know about this. Like, does the main temple still get regular information from them? Like,
are there other
do
temples?
They know these people? Well, yeah, there's going to be more than one temple. I mean, look, over there and over there.
No.
There's like a much grander, grand cathedral.
I mean, yeah.
One thing
that temple, or is this the main temple?
This is the main temple, okay. And the one thing it's known for is its call to worship every day, where it rings. It has these grand bells of old ancient origin, supposedly blessed by Ord. They ring them every day to call people to worship, and they do it at noon specifically, and then in the evening, of course. And that's typically you'll see people in their Ord, blessed Ord sashes and stuff, going towards the temple to receive blessings and say prayers and whatnot.
Well, who knows? Maybe there's a lovely lass somewhere around that is disgruntled about not being able to serve under the main temple anymore and knows maybe something that's going on or is disgruntled about it. But for the most part, I don't know if I want to tangle with the church that way.
I certainly don't want to fight with them, but it would be interesting to see what's going on over there. Maybe we just... we could inquire about some scrying spells to find a lost friend of ours and just see what kind of reception we get.
Yeah, I mean, I could always...
It's really expensive, though.
Well, yeah, I mean...
I don't know if we want this that bad. I mean, what's the reward for this quest anyway, again?
I was thinking more just as a reasonable line
or
of
maybe we
present
Oh, you mean Dakrin. Oh, I see.
By the way, Baron has the shoe, and he's been showing it off.
Oh, he still has the shoe? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and that's the main source of irritation. He's been trying to get a beard from anybody. He's been trying to get a drink from anybody who wants to see it. Yeah. It's a fine shoe.
I'm
Later
sure
we find
a whole dialogue about the shoe.
Later, he is found dead in an alley. Shoes missing.
Yeah.
It's just the one.
I'm gonna head off to
shoes too.
the little gnome's room for a minute. That dwarven-sized pint just went right through me. But I got to go help the missus with something, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
The missus?
I switched into...
Jasper, are you married?
with accents.
What about that other girl that we saw at the fair? And then, well, while he's in the privy, Flint.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worthwhile to search the church, or should we search around the church for
Why don't y'all make
oddities?
a perception check right quick?
Perception?
Yes.
6.
See if you notice something in the street or somebody.
Most likely not.
It's always worth a roll.
6.
Okay. It's a crowded street.
Gentleman walks right between me and Flint because neither of us are looking at each other and we both miss it.
Frankly, I don't know what searching the church will really accomplish. I mean, I don't really know what to do next. I mean, we know that something flew over the city and may or may not have dropped a shoe, but now what? I mean, nobody seems to know where it went. They just all saw it. It was too dark.
They don't know if it went beyond the area. They don't know if there's been odd hooting noises or bird noises at night. They don't know those kind of things. All we know is that
It's perfectly silent from everybody you talk to. And you can easily find somebody that was an eyewitness if you want.
other than the temple itself having its new posting of coincidental guards, and maybe that having something to do with, the changes. I mean, the only thing to do would be to search the building itself, maybe, but I don't think they're going to just let us go check every nook and cranny for a missing girl and her mother? Is it both? Is it just the mother and the child, or just...
Mother and daughter. And it's not quite noon yet. So they've yet to ring the bell.
Well, now would be the time to go check it out because they're going to have the meeting soon.
Right.
So what do you think? Can you do any of your sneaky stuff?
Oh, I certainly can. But
maybe I could cause
Jeff,
a distraction or something.
roll a perception right quick as y'all are walking through the streets.
16.
Oh, you see at least one other party. Well, you see, I'll tell you right quick. Let me see. You see 3 different parties that are, one of them's 2, the other one has 4, one of them is just a single fellow, and they're all doing a similar investigation to you, talking to vendors.
they've got it handled. We'll just go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, as long as the girl and her daughter are saved, I'm fine letting them do it. I don't know. Are you guys bound to this quest? Seems like a lot of people are going to be combing the city, and somebody's bound to help them. I didn't know this quest was in such high demand.
Well, that single fellow, they heard there was a bounty, and they're all trying to get it, but they never went to the source. That one single fellow is trying to buy a shoe off a fellow. Or trying to get the shoe off of him.
Yeah, that's the guy who had the shoe.
Right, he's talking pretty loud. Oh, it's not for sale! He's telling a story. It's a little dwarf. He's pretty stooped over, so he seems shorter than he is, but, and quite old.
Should we get the story from the horse's mouth, as it were? Might as well see what he has to say. I mean, he's right over there.
Sure, why not? Right.
We got two dwarves here. Who's the guy questioning him? The other one.
It looks like a half elf.
Half elf. Oh, we've got this. You two sweep the old man off his feet, as it were. Get him, go buy him a beer and.
Bit of a dandy.
Yeah. Just start calling him cousin and brother and stuff, and just pull him off the way, arm in arm. Buy him a beer. We'll have it wrapped up in no time.
Why are we doing this, Jasper?
He's an old guy with a shoe. He's got to know something, right? Never underestimate the value of an old man with a story to tell. That's just...
Look at Flint. Look back at Jasper. I don't know if I agree with this.
10 out of 10.
All right, I guess it's worth a try. I mean, maybe just sort of getting on his good side. We'll see what he has to say. He seems anxious to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think he's anxious for a pint.
Yes, both.
All right.
What's the other side?
So I'll just go up and talk to him in Dwarvish and just be like, "Hey, my friend, where did you get that interesting shoe there, huh?"
Well, he immediately goes in. Hey, it was dropped right out of the sky, right in front of me the other night. It was first there was a darkness came over, a great darkness came over the head, and then I heard the squealing of a young lady. I thought, "Ooh, there's something afoot." And then that shoe dropped right out of the sky. It was something afoot.
Jasper, understanding nothing but perceiving the emotion behind the words, is just looking back and forth.
It's a slobbery discussion. He has no teeth. He is just
Bran is rubbing his temples.
Almost into his cootage.
Jasper, noticing the disturbing lack of teeth in the elderly dwarven community, begins to realize that they probably need to get better mealing process. There's just too many rocks in their bread and such.
Oh, you?
No, it's because they've tested so many coins throughout their days. You know, just testing so many events. It's just too much.
I've done a coin.
Years. Might I take a closer look at that shoe just to make sure you're not spinning some yarn to get attention?
Oh, aye, and he presents this, what turns out to be a slipper, but he presents it like, ta-da! Presents
does it float about 2 inches above his hand?
Glistens and glitters.
No, but you realize if he had the match to it, he could probably get keep himself in gear for a month, because it is quite nice. It's actually a young woman's slipper with a small foot.
Does it look like a child's foot? That small?
Fairly young. More like a dainty young woman's foot.
I feel like we need to grab this slipper and go find Cinderella.
Who?
One of those elven tales. I think it's human as well, is where it started. I don't know. They like their oddities. So there's a pumpkin monster that comes out at midnight and ravages the land, and the princess has to go defeat it, and then this knight comes along and helps her out.
Interesting.
Don't know.
Half-elf starts to say something about Hargis and is standing there, like, shoulders straight and looking down like, you don't have anything you want to do here. Droids are not here. Kind of
I feel like Hargis is intimidating for all the wrong reasons.
Well, he's doing it with a smile on his face. But
one of the wrong reasons. How you doing?
Aren't you a pretty young half-elf?
I think I'd like you with mustard on you.
I'm sorry?
All sorts of intimidation.
Don't go yet, boy.
Half-elf's like, no bounty is worth this.
He does have to hurry.
Walks off.
Well,
His party confronts him and it's like, wait, why'd you leave? And he's like, no, I don't want to talk about it.
And, the fellow says, yeah, it flew right straight down the street. And that pretty much goes in line. You realize that everybody you've questioned, it's like the street is like a straight line to Yord's temple. And everything about you talked to was right here. Basically, it draws a straight line to Yord's temple.
Is there any massive bird poop anywhere?
No.
That would maybe indicate the trail.
They typically
that would be a story that somebody would be telling.
They typically do that right as they take off from a perch, and then that way the rest of the time they're flying.
So we gotta go find that in Yord's garden.
So if we find a giant
temple
splatter somewhere, you'll know he's nesting.
I thought it was more of a strategic assault than that, but...
All right, let's go to Yord's temple then. See what
Right.
we can find.
All right.
I
So,
say we start with the straightforward approach and go increasingly more sneaky and interesting from there. If that doesn't work, does that sound
By straightforward, do you
plan?
mean telling them that we're looking for the missing girls? Is that
Well, at least about the rumors about the bird and see if they saw it and then maybe maybe
if
go
they
from
flat
there.
out deny that the bird was flying over their place, then that's obviously suspicious, right?
Exactly. So I think if we rule out those things first, then it might save us some time and trouble. So
now, if they do say that they saw the bird, then that might just mean that a certain individual here is calling the shots, and not everybody's aware. So that makes things really complicated for us.
I mean, we already know that most of the guard, at least around the temple, has been replaced by a more militant or military force. So
still, it's a good habit to keep those that work under you in the dark about things, so that they can claim innocent, and you can cut them off if you don't need them.
Well,
modern management.
Success through ignorance. Welcome.
That's right.
All right. Well, I suppose you two will be our best bet for getting kind of into the temple. I don't know how strict these fellows will be on non-dwarves getting in. They were rather friendly over in Jord's garden, but if things have changed here, I guess we'll just have to see what their temperament is towards non-dwarven individuals.
All are welcome in Yord's house.
Well, let's find out if this is still Yord's house. Might be the birdhouse now. They might be worshipping the great Technicolor parrot.
Oh, nice. Anyway, well.
So is there are there guards at the door or?
Well, as you approach, you realize other people are walking that way, and then the bells chime. And the closer you get to the temple, the thicker the crowd is, and there's two young fellows guarding the entrance. They look, you can tell they're young for dwarves, and they're not questioning anybody or anything. They're just standing at the doors, and as people file into the main hall.
All right. Good enough. I suppose we just file in.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well. It might not be a good time to do some questioning, so...
Yeah, maybe...
I would just like to examine both the worshippers and the guards fairly well. I just want to know what they're wearing, how their habits are, things like that.
The worshippers all have these stoles on. It's like a prayer shawl kind of thing. That are similar. Well, they vary in color, but they're all similar design. And you realize it's got little fringes on the edges where they, like prayer beads or something. They wear this, and and put it over their head when they pray. And I keep saying, what actually happens is there's a ritual prayer and a blessing, and then people will divide up and wait for a priest to speak with them if they want to, or continue with the ritual as the other people seek blessings directly from the priest. Most of the faithful will stay in the main hall. If you look at the building, it's not finished. The building has columns going up the front of it, ending in basically a tower. And as you go into the hall, you realize that they go all the way up to an opening at the top where the sky can be seen. And there's like these long, heavy drapes that hang from floor to ceiling on this bottom floor all the way around to create the sense of an enclosure. That's a terrible description. I'm really tired.
Sounds all right.
Now, I honestly just got a eyelash in my eye back there, so I was trying to rub it out. And then I yawned afterwards, so it was the worst timing.
There's a lot going on.
Without any investigation, as you walk in, you realize there's a good 6 feet between the actual walls and the curtains. The curtains have been hung up to hide where they've been expanding the temple. It looks quite nice. Or drapes, I guess you'd call them.
Is the service just starting up? Like, are they going to have a service now?
Yeah, but it's an open service. People are just filing in. They have like little kneeling pillows. You can rent at the front, and then they just line up. There's a bunch of little acolytes lining people up, organizing them, and they've already started the service. They're just praying and ringing chimes and beating a drum to the cadence of the prayers. You know, if you had any magical sense, you would realize there is a little bit of magic going on, of priestly kind. No guards that you see.
Right. What do you two think? Do we chat with a clergy, or try and get a clergyman off to the side and ask him some questions, or?
So, is there no sermon going on? It's just
It's a ritualistic kind of prayer. Prayer vigil.
It looks like they're kind of grouping up into...
There is some priests at the front residing over everything and leading everything. There's ritual responses. You know, if you were a worshiper, you'd say it was a warm blanket of worship.
Okay, yeah, we'll just go to whoever looks the least...
Try and find a short line. Yeah, try and find one of the short lines.
Yeah.
There's got to be at least one priest here who's got, everyone knows he's the one with the bad breath, and so everyone, stays away from that guy, right?
There's a bunch of young acolytes all along the curtain wall, the draped walls.
Blindfolded and ready and waiting the odd gun-firing line that's in front of them.
Some are selling pillows, some are handing out shawls to people that don't have them. Some of them are just standing there. A bunch of them are assisting the priests, coming and going, getting stuff.
All right, yeah, let's go talk to one of them then.
Yeah, we should probably grab a shawl or something. Jasper will take off his conical hat.
I slowly turn and look at Jasper trying to put on a shawl on himself.
He'll take off his big conical hat and shove it into his vest.
If you're a dwarf, the shawl thing, like I said, it was it's stuff. It would be common knowledge. Whether you practice or not is another thing, but it would be common knowledge. Like the Jehovah's Witnesses coming to your door.
I'm gonna whisper to Flint. He's gonna get slapped on the butt by some frisky male dwarf that's gonna mistake him for one of the females.
Who is?
That would be inappropriate in a house of the Lord Jord. Why would that happen?
They may not like him that young.
Plus, he's the size of a child. I don't think that'll...
Beard. A full beard. Very small.
Have you looked at the ladies?
I have a story for you with one of my friends.
I don't know. I don't want to know it.
It's an ongoing ugly rumor about dwarven women. So and their beards.
Right.
Yeah, I'll just go up to one of the acolytes and just say, "Excuse me, I'm here for some information that could save somebody's life."
Oh, the young man. He's what can I help you do? What can I help you with, sir?
I've heard rumors of some kind of giant bird coming toward this temple and possibly roosting here. Have you heard anything like that?
A giant bird? No, sir. I know anything like that.
You haven't heard any of the rumors at all?
Maybe. I don't spend a lot of time. I don't know. No, not really.
How do I feel about this guy? Is he trying to cover something, or?
Is he sweating bullets?
He
Is he
said-
like that scene from Airplane?
Insight check.
Rumors. Well, my mom told me not to partake in such thing, and the priest said we shouldn't get engaged in nonsense like that.
I agree, but I think it ceases to become nonsense when there are dozens of eyewitnesses of it happening. Perhaps you heard the outcry of people outside seeing something that scared them a few nights ago, something in the dead of night.
If you're talking about Baron and his stupid slipper, I've seen the slipper. And it belonged to no dragon, I'll tell you that.
I agree that Baron is not the best eyewitness, but there were others
he
as well.
kind of lost himself there for a minute, and he pulls himself back in and is like, you know. What was your question again?
Did you say something, Bran?
Oh, no.
No, Flint, I thought you were actually continuing a question, and I kind of walked on you.
Oh, no, it's fine. I don't think I said anything new. Just, yeah.
Yeah, you can roll if you like, but I'll tell you straight out, he's, just young. He didn't. He pretty much knows what everybody else knows, and the priests aren't telling you anything.
Okay. So
Other than,
need to go talk to one of the priests then.
Put the candles out, light the candles. Where's the wine?
Well, what do we do now?
Well, it doesn't seem like the acolytes know anything, so maybe we have to try further up the food chain, and I nod towards one of the priests, I guess, that seems to be authoritative. Why not try asking him instead?
Yeah, there's a dwarf standing along towards the front by the entrances, but
I'll nudge Jasper. I'm like, you go ask him. You'll be able to figure out if he's lying or not. Me, I don't have any cards for this game.
Yeah, I could give it a shot. As Jasper starts walking up, he'll just pull like a little twig that he's been carrying around in his pocket, and he'll just kind of be kind of rolling it over his fingers and snapping it, and then mending it, and snapping it, and mending it.
Are you treating that like a mechanical pencil or pen?
Yeah. But he's like just kind of he like snaps it and then mends it and then snaps it and then kind of twirls it and mends it.
He's just letting it all hang out anymore.
Yep.
Since he had his revelation. I have a question for y'all. Does anybody here have locate object or locate person or anything like that?
No.
Those are high-level spells.
Yeah. Okay. See, I didn't research that. But, I actually looked at my own spells. I don't have it. So.
I have the ability to turn myself into looking like one of them, turning myself invisible, and making it so that none of them can tell that is magical in nature. That is what I'm good at. I'm good at infiltrating. I'm not good at seeing stuff, but I'm good at infiltrating.
I can get in.
We might need your skills yet if this doesn't work.
Yeah.
So.
Does anybody have night vision or dark vision?
I think we've all got dark vision.
We all do.
Yeah. All of us have dark vision by default.
The main hall, although well lit, there's a lot of shadows. I mean, you can only so much you can do without any windows. That's for the 4 stories up. So, there's no orcs here.
But as Jasper's waiting in line to get up to the I guess head priest looking guy, I guess we're waiting to get up to, he'll just be like kind of fiddling with this twig, snapping it and mending it, kind of twiddling around, just kind of fidgeting. He's been trying to practice his magical abilities without using components and stuff like he has in the past. So
roll perception, if you like.
Perception. Oh, 18.
Oh, you realize you see some taller priests walk from behind the curtain and into an entrance behind the dais.
Okay.
It's really just a raised area where the priests are meeting the faithful. But dais sounds a little grand. But it's all hewn stone.
How
And you
about
realize there's these... Oh, okay.
Dais?
Dais.
Less grand. No, that was me making fun of how the word can be pronounced incorrectly. Dais is fine.
And y'all realize that, in fact, there's these giant 4x4 blocks that represent the foundation that are bare along the outer walls where they haven't filled them in and paved it.
Yeah, so there's some stuff going on behind the curtains.
Yeah. And you do see people.
Okay. Did you guys come? Did they come up with Jasper to talk to the head guy, or are they hanging? Are you guys hanging back?
I'm hanging back.
Argus is nowhere to be seen.
Just to expedite on a slight degree, we'll have discussed that maybe along the way. If Jasper thinks there's something off, maybe he gives us a hand signal or something that way, and I'll slink into the shadows, and Flint will start distractions along with you, and I will start searching. And maybe you point behind the dais, because you would have noticed that Flint and Brand definitely, well, Brand especially, would have not noticed this. Yeah. So you're going to have to direct him where you want him to go. But
Argus and Flint both have inspiration. And, well, all three of y'all have inspiration.
Okay.
As in the bardic inspiration, that doesn't last very long.
10 minutes.
Well, it's free right now. It's free right now, and you never know how this is going. And there is a subtle accompaniment in the music going on here.
Okay.
Yeah,
gave us a little word of encouragement as we walked off. So I guess I'll just wait and keep looking around until we get up to the main cleric up there and see, just kind of waiting my turn.
Well, you're there. It's a kindly, although his hair is fairly steel-colored, rather than gray, it's an older dwarf that seems in robust health. He's looking at you patiently and giving his, stock Pax Vobiscum commentary in Dwarvish.
Hello, sir. Pleasure. Jasper. Nice to meet you. Had a question, and just continuing to.
He actually focuses on you. Yes, young brother. You don't usually get yours here. It's quite a treat.
I'll appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Treat.
It's a wonderful place you have here. Really good stonework. And of course, I suppose I shouldn't expect any less from the dwarves. Do you do tours at all of the expanded areas that you're working on? Any sort of...
Well, there's not much to see. Of course, the walls aren't finished, so we have these wonderful drapes, which is actually they're a perfect rendition. Roughly, I guess perfect rendition would be a little inaccurate, but this is basically what the walls will look like once we finish the mosaics that are behind the curtains.
Oh, wow. That's great.
And scaffolding. And you realize it's dwarves doing Egyptian things. With hammers and, talking to gods and heroes. And, it's pretty epic. Large is in all dwarvish things.
Well, very impressive work so far. Actually, I was...
So even Shaw Ord with dwarves is like 10 feet tall. Any place else, he would just be like a dude. So...
I was curious. Do you do any like spell scroll sales or anything like that for folks? We're trying to find a friend of ours, and we're unable to do so. And we're hoping maybe some scrying or locate objects scrolls.
Oh yes, up front, just behind and to the left on the behind the curtain is our small little store where you can find many of the gods' gifts that we're allowed to sell.
Ah, wonderful.
Well, not sell, but exchange for tithe.
Okay, and I'll tuck the little branch in my vest pocket and just pull out.
Have to keep the candles lit.
Yeah, you'll pull out one of the feathers, from the bird, and just start kind of playing with that, and see if he reacts at all to having the feather pulled out.
His eyes.
Yeah.
Get wide.
Yeah.
And he stammers a little. Oh, that's an interesting souvenir. Have you been to the
Isn't it though? Isn't it
market?
They're all over the street there. Everyone's talking about some giant bird that flew towards the temple the other night. So,
what?
I was hoping.
I've heard some parishioners talking about that, and I've seen the slipper. Let me just tell you right now. So,
no giant
if it'll get an old man a beer,
he's in on it. Kill him.
I've
Strike now.
Yeah.
He's stammering a little.
Yeah.
He's stammering
He's a
little.
Mark him.
I've always been a fan of nature and exotic birds and that sort of thing. So I was just hoping.
Wouldn't we all know if it was a dragon? Surely there wouldn't be a dragon here.
I think it's
everybody in the city would hear it and feel it.
No, a dragon is silly. That'd be silly. We've met dragons.
Dragon.
They are very polite. They don't scare people in the middle of the night.
But quiet and subtle, I'm not sure of.
Right.
You've met polite dragons.
Yeah.
Wait till you meet the unpolite ones.
All dragons are very polite. Jasper, Jasper
100% of the dragons that he's encountered.
100%
So
of the dragons he's met
This is what, like
just
3 for
delightful.
3?
Yeah. I guess her
I
mom
think
was
the
kind
people
of
of
snooty, but
Shadowford back in the fall would disagree with you.
she was still polite, even if she was snooty. So.
Mm.
So
Until they become rude.
yeah. So
And then it's
without having to do too much, it seems like Jasper's aware that this guy's holding stuff back about the bird.
He's not very good at
So Jasper,
Mhm.
do you give the signal?
Yeah, so he takes the feather and just kind of tucks it behind his ear.
It's rather blatant misdirection.
I'm gonna see if they actually see that.
Yeah.
Attempted misdirection. He's trying to steer you towards other things.
How many 6s is that now for me?
It's been.
Three.
5?
Well,
it's 3 for you and 2 for me.
If they make me feel better, I went straight from 20s to 6s, 3s, and 7s. So
I'll nudge Hargis. Hargis, is he doing it yet?
Is he doing it?
I can't make it out.
Can't
from here.
see over the crowd. All right. Well, appreciate your time, Father, and
he's doing it.
yeah, I wish you a good evening, and we'll see you around.
There's an amazing amount of subtleness for him.
Yeah.
I think he's matured more than in one way with that magic revelation.
I'll just come sauntering back to the guys and fill him in. Yeah,
See that? That's Cookie.
He seems to
Bran
be,
will have disappeared at this point, or at least attempted to.
Oh.
Go into the shadow, kind of stealth, and then cast invisibility on himself. And then saunter off.
All right.
Flint.
Where
Yes.
you going, Bran?
Where did Bran go?
I'm right here.
Okay. Yeah. Apparently he's in deep stealth mode.
Well, you'll be
He's
pleased.
invisible.
You'll be pleased to know, Bran, that I was testing
Invisible.
whether or not they noticed if magic was casting earlier, and they don't appear to care very much. So now that you're invisible, I guess you've determined that as well. But yeah, they don't seem to mind.
You know what the best thing about being invisible is?
This is such a everyday. I mean, this is such a ritualized ceremony that they do 3 times a day. It's dulled any vigilance they might have had.
Yeah. All right.
Everybody you see here does this 3 times a day, 7 days a week, or however many days we have in this world. But
Okay.
7, I think, is a good number. All right, so I guess we'll hang out and see if we get a report back from Branbrek.
So I assume that I am sneaking towards the
Head of the temple?
the head of the temple area where the dais is, or something that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm going. And then sneaking down in there.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, so I assume that I need to make a stealth roll sometime. I'm invisible. That doesn't mean I'm quiet. But
this is a packed hall. You're running out of time before they start clearing out, but right now it's packed with people, and there's a lot of noise. Just ambient noise and echo. And the only thing that gives you any reprieve is the drapes that are absorbing some of the noise in the 6-foot gap behind them.
Okay.
And you can easily walk up. You can get through the people.
Do I find the stairwell down or whatever it is?
It opens into a small receiving room with coat hooks.
Anything around in there? Does it go somewhere else after that?
Yes, there's a hallway, short hallway.
All right. Nobody's posted or vigilant in this area, or like looking around, even if they're just like ignoring or something that way. Okay.
When you, if you'd have looked when you walked past, you would have seen there was people in the space between the walls and the curtains. Which I shouldn't have told you that, but I'm tired of our failures.
Tired of your failure.
So,
you can only roll 6s too long before I cave.
Pun intended.
One way to break the DM. We'll fail so
Never
hard.
asked for it. Yeah, never ask for a check that'll break the campaign, because it can happen.
You're doing it on purpose! No. There's a short hallway. There's the hallway splits about halfway down, and there's a
short.
To the left and right are narrower passages with lots of doors that kind of curve back towards the outside. And at the end of this hall is just it looks like a custodial door, just a plain, not unornamented door. It's rather thick, but most dwarven doors are built for siege.
I mean, I've got an hour on this invisibility unless I break it with something. So I guess I will start exploring then. The big door seems as big of a light, or as likely as anything else. So let's go big or go home. Go with that one.
Well,
at the end of the hall?
You know what they say about dwarven doors.
Okay, I'll just...
No, I don't. I'm an elf.
I'll just tell you for detail. The doors immediately... outside the receiving room, the doors immediately to left and right are changing room. They have more pegs and ropes and stuff. All along the hall is...
No little girl screaming, "Help me, please."
No.
Dang, that couldn't be easy, could it?
So you were going to the end of the hall?
Yes.
To the custodial door? It's a rather heavy door with iron fittings. You can open it easily. It's not locked.
Okay. Just because I can, I'm going to oil the doors because I have that in my inventory. So I'm going to take a little oil can out and oil the hinges. Listen, I'm a professional. Going
You
to
open it?
test to see if it's locked.
Uh-huh.
Is it locked?
It is not locked.
I will then check to see if it's trapped with anything.
You can roll for it. I believe that would... What is that? Just simple detection investigation?
Yeah.
Do better than
Perception would be to notice it if I wasn't intentionally looking at this object.
I got you. So
Like if I was walking down the hall and didn't think about to look for a trap, perception would be the...
investigate.
let's go with a 17.
Oh, what the hell am I wasting my time investigating? It's a very simple lock. There's no point in... It's just a simple ring that turns.
Okay. So it's not trapped.
Not trapped.
Okay. I feel like I should cast Detect Magic just to make sure it's not magically trapped. Anyways, let us unlock the door then. Thieves' tools on it, I assume? Well, was it
thought
locked?
it wasn't
It
locked.
wasn't locked.
Okay. I will unlock the unlocked door.
You will lock the door.
And then
I
unlock
will
it
unlock
again.
And I was like, oh crap.
Just to practice.
Okay.
Gotta stay on your game.
Still got it. Still got it. Still got it. I'll just twirl and then ting 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 ting.
Open the door.
Anyway,
I oiled it. It's not gonna creak.
this door has been refitted into the stone, and you realize that this is older stone back here.
Okay.
Older than everything you saw up front.
Does it smell like death?
No, musty and dirty. It's some sort of storage room with a bunch of boxes that have recently been moved in. And the back wall is empty.
The back wall is empty. Okay.
Mhm.
I'll close the door. I'll go to the back wall. I'll do a search around on that. Maybe investigate it or something that way. Because this seems oddly suspicious. So. Bran might be a fool. But even a blind squirrel occasionally finds a nut. So.
That's how the saying goes.
Investigate. I believe you got to roll an investigate.
Yeah, yep. Sorry, I was just a little slow on that.
No worries.
9, unfortunately.
Oh.
So it might take me a while.
Well, you can do it in sections. That's the way. It's a large wall. It's a fairly large room.
Goodness. Now, if only the other two were here.
You don't have message, do you?
Something. I do not.
I have message.
Oh.
He doesn't know where I am exactly. They can't point at
You
me.
can just fire it off a few times for free.
You just fire it into random people?
Yeah, no, it's targeted though. If it misses you, then it doesn't connect. But
You can teleport us to him. I believe. To a specific person.
you've got Dimension
Maybe.
Door?
Maybe I'll luck
I have
out.
Dimension Door. Yeah, it's
Oh my gosh.
Maybe
level
I will luck out and somebody has forgotten their keys and has to come back through the door for a moment. And then I'll sneak
Beat
in
one of
right
the
then.
clerks.
Yeah. Because there was one that headed down not that long ago, so he was open, but ugh.
Well, if you had investigated, you'd realize he's just changing robes in the back room out of his ceremonial robes into his everyday work robe.
Another poor sap that I failed to catch with his pants down.
Quick,
You just
fire
need
this
to
around
be
his neck.
breathing through it. The invisibility is ruining your. Maybe you can catch him later with his pants down.
I guess it's just going to be time consuming because eventually I'm going to just keep searching because I know something's here. It's just taking me forever to find it.
Well, there's every clue that something's going on because the wall at the foot of this, the floor at the foot of this wall is the cleanest place in here. The other curious thing is all these crates have been moved in here recently.
What I won't give for a lightsaber that I could just like stab into the wall at the moment.
It's always a handy thing to have.
Yeah. I don't have the ability to move through the wall. I do not have any spells that way.
You're a dwarf. Don't you have some natural ability to detect? Oh, okay. Something else.
I do have something that helps me find.
Eat through the stone.
It helped me with my investigation check, and it helped me within stone rooms and stuff like that to kind of discover stuff. But that's what the roll was. It had that added to it.
Okay. Wow.
I just rolled bad.
That's what you get for not being an elf in a dwarf's body.
That was racist.
Accurate.
So, Jasper, do y'all want to do anything while you're...
Yeah.
I think we're just
What are
patiently
you guys
waiting.
doing?
Yeah, I think we're
You've
just...
been there a while, and you realize the hall is starting to empty. Yeah.
He'll catch up with us outside, won't he?
I'm gonna do a stupid idea that will convince somebody that something's wrong. I'm gonna start taking the butt of my dagger and tapping on the wall.
The stone is heavy.
The stone wall at the back?
You're not going to hear a lot of discernible difference in sound.
Oh, that's not for me. That's for them. I'm
Yeah, we
alerting
don't-
them that there's something going on.
Right, we don't hear it, is what he's saying, I think.
Right.
Not them.
Not them.
Whoever the third party is on the other side of this door or something else that way. I can't imagine they didn't post anybody.
He's trying to bait someone.
I'm trying to bait someone else to come through that door and investigate what was that noise.
Oh, something happened. Hard to see. I have invisibility. I have invisibility. We could cast invisibility and just saunter on the back there and see what's going on. I'm worried about our friend.
It has been a while.
No reason to worry about Bran. He is perfectly fine and capable of what he is doing.
Brand tells me Brand would say he's perfectly fine and capable. But I found him stressed to a table more than once, ready for the big section. So.
And he got out of it every single time.
I mean, we're just in a temple. It's not a monster's dungeon, so I think he'll be fine.
That's
if anything, they'll find him and ask him to leave, probably.
Okay. Somebody is trying the door, Brand.
Okay. I'm still invisible. I will...
Not your supposedly undetected door, but the door you came in.
Okay, that's fine. I locked it.
Okay. There's no lock on it.
You slid a crate in front of it.
Like, well, what did I do with these tools then?
They have...
Wait,
then how come I couldn't open it? What did I do?
You just tapped the tools on the handle. And
I don't know what you did. That's what I was trying to say. It's just a ring
I'm
that
a
turns.
really impressive locksmith. I can make it locked when it's not even got any way of doing.
And it's only locked for you.
I locked
You
the
pushed
door
it
from
to
the
the pole, I
outside
guess.
of the bar.
Well, what was it? A latch? Was it a turn latch?
It was a simple turn mechanism.
Yeah. So what you could
And a
have
heavy
done
thing.
is closed the door and disabled the handle so that when they turn it, it doesn't undo the latch.
True.
You could do that.
My thought was that
disabled
I
the
used
door.
mage hand to lift a bar onto the other side, and then that's how I locked it. Anyways,
Well, I would ask you to roll for it, but that's not been going well. A simple intuition, you realize you stick something in the ring, and it would prevent it from opening.
So he's wedge locked, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. If they want to open the door, they can.
Okay.
And they do.
And they do, yeah, it's
They
correct.
just don't know it's the crossbow that has been trained on the door.
There is a dwarf with a hood opening the door. His robe has a hood, it's pulled over his head, and he's looking into the room. He's leaned his body into the room to look.
Smells like dirty elf in here.
Using the invisible mage hand, I will continue to tap on that wall, but take a safe distance away from it, as I am still invisible.
Casting a
Leaving the door open, he steps in and is investigating. Now, would he see you with his...
mage hand should still be up from prior to this.
It only lasts for a minute.
Oh, right.
So you could tap physically, but you couldn't use mage hand.
Is that what
Dagger wouldn't be invisible when you let go of it either, so it would kind of appear and just be floating there.
That's fine.
He would he would investigate.
Are you trying to bait him towards you with some clicking of your heel or something on the wall? Or?
No, I'll just wait to see what he does and maintain my invisibility then.
He leans in the room, he looks all around, see anything. He waits for a minute, listens. He's you realize he's he has access underneath the robe on his sides, and he's got his hand on a weapon. And very unlike the priests that you saw.
He will now hear the alien noise from Alien vs. Predator.
And
Can I do a performance check? I'm joking.
Let me see what he.
No, let me see.
Further into the room. Okay. He's going to investigate further. He's detected something, and he's going to investigate it.
Well, I could do what thieves do best, is sneak up on somebody and blackjack them. But,
he's standing in the room. He's walking along all the boxes now.
I'm going to find a good spot to circumvent him. So, I'll come from the doorway that he just came from. I'm going to make myself look like one of the other priests, using Disguise Self. So I'll cast Disguise Self. So I appear at the doorway with his back turned, like looking for a good opportunity that way, and as one of the other priests, like in that robe and garb and everything that way. And I'm a dwarf already, so I don't have to worry about that too much.
He looks extremely surprised. Brother Norman, what are you doing in this area?
That's what I should be asking you. Shouldn't you be at your post? What are you doing?
Without a torch?
We all have dark vision, you fool.
No, I came down because you weren't at your position. What's going on? Somebody said that they saw you leave. What's going on with that?
I'm new at the temple. I was just wandering back here as we were told. And I heard some unusual tapping in the hallway.
Unusual tapping? Where?
It sounded like it came from here.
And
we're not supposed to be in here.
I think I do have a torch in my equipment, so I'll pull out a torch. Yep. So I'll pull out a torch and light it, and have a better vision of the room.
He's like,
well, if there is somebody in here, they ought to be a rat. Have you been? Do you know anything about this room? What have you been told?
He's looking really suspicious of you. What do you mean what I've been told? We're not supposed to be in here.
Which is why I'm asking you, what have you
want to roll for reaction?
Reaction?
Well, I think we need to roll for initiative because he steps back from you and pulls out a short sword.
Oh, gee.
That escalated quickly.
Well, he saw through your deception.
I didn't roll deception.
Oh, he rolled to detect deception.
Can I roll against that?
Yeah, you can roll against that. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, he rolls deception, you roll insight, and then whoever's
28.
higher.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm sorry. I stumbled.
This is what I'm good at.
My apology. I was rolling really good until 28.
He still might be suspicious based on circumstances or like what he says, but he probably wouldn't attack if he.
No. I realize that now. Brother Norman, we're not even.
I'm really trying to convince him to turn around again so I can cast Charm Person on him next, and then convince him I'm his friend as well.
Well, as he's gesturing from where he was, you have plenty of opportunities if you want to do that.
I'll cast Charm Person on him because I think I can maintain both the spells at the same time. Let me see.
Yeah, disguise isn't concentration. So.
Yeah. So I can be disguised, and I can charm him.
Yeah, he totally failed any checks he had with a 1, so.
Oh, really?
He is more than willing to
His
help.
wisdom saving throw was below 13 then. Understood.
Yeah.
So
basically he'll treat Branbrek as a friendly acquaintance.
Yes. The charmed creature regards you as a friendly acquaintance. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you. So I'll have to take care of him by the end of the spell. In an hour.
I'm not sure it'll matter. I'm not sure it'll matter.
Okay. So, right. I mean, it's just us here, though. And
His
honestly, it's
demeanor
kind of
suddenly
suspicious
changing.
that the room you're not supposed to be in is the room that I find you in when you're not at your post. So what's going on?
Oh, I was just simply checking. You know that we're not supposed to be in here since the new discoveries, and he mentions his boss, which is Noble Gang.
Right.
And Noble Gang told us all to stay out of here. And being one of the house priests, that you're not to be involved with this part of the mission we have. I'm sure you know your directions.
Right. This
Business as
tapping
usual,
noise,
right?
it couldn't have been the bird or anything that way. I don't know what that is, but they've been talking about it. The populace have been coming in, searching in the church. There's also been some pesky adventurers asking us about a bird. I just figured I'd let you know.
Bird? No, there's nothing down there but the tapestry and the guardians and that odd jade statue.
Well, let's get to going then.
Noble Gang brought in.
I'm tempted to knock this guy out, but I don't know how strong he is.
He's a stout. He's obviously more than just a temple priest.
Right.
I would say a lot of people would call him warrior priest.
I don't know, it's tempting. Do I botch our whole plan?
He's wearing chainmail and some sort of metal collar around his neck, which is a warrior guard, neck guard.
Yeah, I mean, that would work well if I wasn't going to attack his mind psychically.
Yeah. I was describing it for the whole party.
Yep. All right, well, I think it's best that we start leaving. I'm going to go change really quick, and I put the torch away as I leave, and then I go down to one of the changing rooms. Is he following me?
Yeah, he's just following you. You want me to go here until you get back?
Yeah, some privacy, please, and I'll go into the changing room. And then, if I cast invisibility, that will last an hour again, and I'll be out of second level spells. He will know in an hour that that particular priest charmed him. Or at least that's what he'll believe.
No, he'll know it immediately because you'll break concentration on charm person.
Charm person is not concentration.
Wow, really? There are a lot of spells that don't have concentration.
Not
That's
a lot,
surprising.
but there are some really good ones. And those ones you do find are just amazing.
Very nice. Okay, then.
I missed part of the conversation. Everybody froze up for a minute.
We were talking about concentration spells.
And I rolled like a natural 20 and did 90 damage to him. Anyways, no, I'm joking.
Well, a headless corpse will create some excitement in the temple.
Well, no, I'm going to save that for later in case I need to use it. I know how to leave a body dead without any marks.
Bran the Butcher.
That was a different occasion. It
The
was
pretty butcher.
Bran the Butcher.
Listen, sometimes there's artwork, and sometimes there's sculpting. So, going into the room, cast invisibility on myself, and then sneak back out and get back to Jasper, Hargis, and them.
What route are you taking?
Probably the same one I took. I don't know of any other route.
Straight over the dais. I mean, you can easily see that to either side is this dark gulf between the tapestries and the walls.
Yeah, well,
And
I mean,
then
I can
you go
maintain
straight out.
invisibility for an hour, so if I don't see them, I can just keep going.
Sure, there's no problem. There's still stragglers talking to the priests, little old ladies, have their last prayer in, and the attention from the priests and whatnot. Where are y'all staying, Jasper?
I'm going to prank one of the little old ladies and says, Lord blesses you. And
And of course, she, totally loses their composure in ecstasy. Oh! You know, and
should be enough for the distraction.
where's the gods? Where's the gods?
We all look at the screaming dwarf lady.
And then you hear me whisper,
Yes, Lord,
let's
spoken
go
to
for a
me.
moment. I'll tell you what I have found, and I'll recount everything. But for the most part, what was the gentleman's name?
I mean, this time he's really spoken to me.
Quite loudly. Noble Gang?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Noble Gang.
Noble Gang.
So
Noble
apparently
Gang.
he is the head honcho regarding those guys, and they have some agreement with the priests in the place to not to interfere with each other. I don't know how that agreement came to be, but they have that agreement. So he's the guy that we got to hit, and then there are apparently mercenaries or other people like what we found out about the chainmail and that going on. So maybe whoever the head priest is, and then that guy, maybe we should hit one of those two targets next. See if we can squeeze information out of them. What do you think, Flint?
Noble Gain? Is that an actual dwarven noble? Is that what we're?
Sounds human.
It's his first name.
Noble Gain.
Noble Gain.
I suppose we could ask around and try and find out who this person is. Maybe try and track them down.
I've heard nothing of him.
We ain't found Jack.
Hargis says.
All right.
I don't know if that's
Well, have I heard anything of new priests in the temple? Other than, well, no, we did. The rumors of the armed guard. But that was only by Bran's contact.
Right.
It's the only place you heard that.
So you're pretty sure there's something behind that back stone door, though.
Yeah, we could always go and investigate it again. It's not that garden. They say that you shouldn't go there, so that seems like a pretty likely candidate for at least something that's related to all of it. But couldn't find the girl. At least not done there.
I mean, breaking into the main Temple of Jord in Valkstad sounds like a great way to get ourselves arrested or something.
Only if we fail.
True. True. Very true. Is that what we're planning on doing? Is that what we're signing up for? What do you think, Flint?
Sounds like one of our only options.
To be honest, I feel like this quest is a bit above our pay grade. We're meddling with a large city with a powerful clergy. I don't want to get on the bad side of either one, whether it's for the guild or not. I feel like this could be bad for the guild if they find out that we were assigned to look into this, and if it causes problems with powerful folks. But I'll go along with whatever you guys want.
The only thing that's mainly concerning me is that there hasn't been any demands made to the other fella.
After 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even know the reason why they need them.
Yeah,
haven't been able to figure out that, or if it was money involved. At least then we know that they're trying to use that as leverage for some reason. Or maybe he's not telling us everything. Or maybe, I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a method to the madness here. So it's hard to gauge. We know that there's something going on, but for all we know, the actual bad guy is the guy that they stole the wife and kids from, and maybe the reason why they're quiet about it is because they actually wanted to get out from under him. Who knows? Maybe that's the twist of fate that's going on here.
He does seem a little strange of a person. That torch holder fella.
That's true.
Even if he is...
he does seem awfully ambitious.
I mean,
man just comes into the city. We're already hearing from him a day away in a remote village.
Right.
Yeah, the churches of the dwarves are really steeped in tradition, and it seems like he's coming to make waves. Might work in Hardale, but here I feel like it's... I don't know.
It seems like all this mess came in on the same boat.
Yeah.
Both the instigator and the one that's claiming that there's an issue is the same person. That could be likely.
Who's the head of this temple normally?
Good question.
I have the high priest as Naaman Pathseeker.
Naaman Pathseeker. Also sounds good. Or elvish.
Mm-hmm.
What would an elf have to do here? What kind of screwed up elf is that?
Well, in Dwarvish, you would translate that as cave finder.
Okay, yeah. Freaking recluse. Alright.
Are you still invisible,
so maybe we're going about this the wrong way.
Are you still invisible, Bran?
The answer is yes. Turn around.
Can I assume we're walking out as we're having this discussion?
Yeah, we're leaving probably.
Yeah, there's still a trickle of people leaving. Mostly older people and a few children.
Well, I guess here's
mothers and children.
If you're still invisible, Bran, if we wanted to go look at that back room again, Hargus could cast invisibility on the three of us, and we could try and get into that back room to have another look.
That's your call. Do you want to do that tonight? Because I can't get back out after this one fails.
We could go have a short rest. There's an evening service too, from what I understand.
I mean, I'm gonna need a long rest in order to do any of this again.
And we left our friend there to resent us next time he comes across us. Although it'd be an interesting story to hear what happens once he confronts.
He's gonna
I forget what the brother's name was.
At the end of an
Did I just use Naaman twice?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I did.
At least he didn't see any of us actually do it.
Yeah, as far as he knows, it's the priest guy I disguised myself as. Other than that, he has no leads back to me.
It's Reacher.
Reacher?
Reacher, Cave Finder.
Is the main...
Or Pathfinder.
Reacher, Pathfinder.
Yeah. He said to have a special affinity with the stone.
He's 420 friendly?
I have no idea. Maybe he's mineral friendly. I don't know.
Mineral friendly. He's the healthy version.
And Bran, they said something about a tapestry.
A tapestry and a jade statue.
What does that? That doesn't sound related to this at all.
It really doesn't. It sounds like
might
maybe
just
he's
be
after something else.
I mean, that could just be something that some sort of relic that the church is trying to protect. It may have nothing to do with this.
The priest I spoke to definitely knew something about a big bird that he wasn't telling us. He was definitely being shifty about it.
I wasn't able to read into it, but it seemed like the guy that I charmed didn't know anything about a big bird and only talked about the guardians and other things behind that wall, so I don't know if they're related or not.
So maybe that one priest is the perpetrator, and none of the other priests know.
Well, the guard and chainmail implied as much, that they were keeping the house priests out of it, right? Stay out of here. Keep your nose out of this area, sort of a thing. So it's restricted to a few, at least. But the one I spoke
the statue, right?
And about the
but
statue.
I don't think we know if that has anything to do with the bird.
True.
I think there might be two issues going on here, and we might be
stumbling on one in
Connecting.
pursuit of the other.
Connecting two of them when they're completely separate things.
I mean-
I say we go with what we know. That priest that you talked to was shifty.
Right.
Yeah.
So I say we maybe follow him, see where he goes.
Yeah, let's follow that priest. We'll corner him, interrogate him, see if his story matches up with the other stuff. For all that we know, maybe they captured. They needed somebody to instigate an investigation in a roundabout way. Who knows? Maybe he's trying to get people to find out about what those others are doing under the temple.
Or
Maybe
maybe he's acting alone.
Or maybe he's acting
Or
alone and it's
selfish
unrelated,
interest.
and we've just stumbled upon two big problems, and I don't want to deal with the second one.
Were these grounds large enough where it looks like there's living quarters for these guys nearby? Or, like, could we get to a spot where we can see the exits we know about?
Well, from what Bran could tell, it looked like most of the living were actually in the temple, on the backside of the temple.
Back
Main
down in
area.
that area where I was?
Right. Remember the two wings of door?
Okay.
And,
once
That's probably where they stay.
Yeah, he may not even leave this place. We'd have to go
I
invisible.
can set up a little device that'll detect if he leaves.
I don't think
Sure.
he will be leaving, though. I think he'll just go to the rooms in the back for the night.
Well,
do they?
I mean, he
Are
might
there,
leave for a drink or something.
Every dwarf has to leave for a drink eventually. Do you say, DM, that there were does this temple have like housing in the back, beds?
right. Within basically within the caves, within what do you call them? Excavated rooms within the mountain itself.
Well, if he does leave, then we'll be able to know. We just have to stay fairly close so we can know to follow him. And if not, then that might tell us something as well, that he's staying in there for some sort of reason.
Yeah. All right. Let's try and set up someplace where we can watch the doors for a while until they close up shop, I guess. And if everyone leaves and they close the doors and we don't see him come out, then we'll know.
Well, like I said, we've got technology for that.
Sure.
We can just stay within a reasonable distance for us to come here when the alarm goes off. I can set it up to alert me, not make a big ruckus or anything like that. And then just sort of stick by just in case.
Sure. All right.
That sound good?
Yeah, it's a good shout. Okay.
All right. This might be a little suspicious, so if you guys could kind of cover me, it'll take me about 1 minute to set it up.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Hargus, we'll play some music off to the side here.
Play some loot. I'll just play
That's
some
what
music
Hargus does.
on the outside, and I'll throw my case, throw my hat on the ground to like I'm trying to pander a little, and play something to Ord.
Yord.
Lord, sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna go down, just pull just a little bit of just to open my gauntlet, pull some wire out of it and stuff.
Well, all my illusions out, so it's well distracted.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, everybody's eyes are turned away from that, and I'll just set up a little alarm at the doorway, and it'll only go off if that priest comes through. And I'll make it a mental alert, so if he walks through that area, then it'll ping it for me in my helmet, just the ear part of my helmet, as long as I'm within 1 mile of it. And the alarm will last 8 hours. And then it will self-destruct and show no sign of it. But it's basically not visible by anyone as well, so I've hit it pretty well.
So Flint, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Flint, I know this great meat pie place. It's about 1.5 miles away that way. Do you want to go to it while we're waiting?
Are they as good as the ones in Jord's Garden? You've had those, haven't you?
Oh yeah. I grew up there.
I like a good meat pie.
If you're on foreign area, that's one of the best places.
You want to go run and grab us some meat pies while we wait here?
Sure. I'm getting hungry. It's been over an hour since I've had that stew, so
It's a mile and like a quarter, maybe a mile and 15 away from like about where we're at right now.
Okay. I mean, so you could be back.
Well, I mean, we can't go farther than a mile, but
I guess you can walk with me most of the way, and then I'll just go the rest, I guess.
an entire mile? I mean, is that the other side of the city?
It is.
It's right on.
Well, what do you roll?
It's a meat pie wagon.
There is no meat pie cart, is there, Branbrek? You're pulling my leg.
Okay, yes, I'm pulling your leg. But there is a meat pie cart. It's just not that far away. It's actually down the street. You want to go?
I think we should be pretty close.
I do.
We'll go down to this hole-in-the-wall meat pie cart place that looks super shady, but tastes amazing.
It's like my favorite place. Never good business.
Like the taco bus that's in the ghetto that you're like, are you sure they're serving us meat?
Jasper's looking at these two dwarves eating not even 2 hours after having 2 bowls of this thick cream of mushroom soup, but Flint was, and Jasper's just like, I don't know where you put it, Flint. It's just there. I literally don't have any room inside of me for a meat pie right now.
His armor comes off, and you notice that there's just food inside of it. in the hollow arm, it's like the hollow leg.
He's got like a gastric bypass system installed on the suit.
I will say though, Flint is very fat. Like he's very he's got a -1 to his dexterity modifier. He's so fat, and so it's not like you can tell where he puts most of it.
Like a dwarven door. You know what they say about dwarven doors. So
I look at Flint. I'm like, what is he talking
about? No, I would like to know.
Does he mean what gnomes say about dwarven doors? Is that who they is?
I've always heard that dwarves like their doors like they like their women. Stout, thick, and able to withstand siege.
I look at Flint. New to me.
I mean, I've heard of the that we like our. I like my beer like I like my women, but I mean,
head on the shoulders.
Dwarves like big women and they cannot lie. Them mother races may deny.
Yeah, don't look at me. I'm an elf underneath, so I actually don't get this aesthetic at all. But
I'm sure.
Stout and bitter. That's the
stout.
Okay,
right?
As y'all face away from the temple,
but doors,
roll a observation check for me.
Who?
Perception check for all of us, huh?
Perception would be good.
17.
Glad one of us is watching the road. 9.
Well, you don't see any priests leave the main entrance, but you see that there's a bunch of young priests unloading what looks like barrels, obviously some sort of drink barrels, and supplies into I guess you'd call it a cart building, just below the temple level.
I grab Jasper. And
not near big enough for all the supplies that are going into it, so it's probably an entrance of some sort.
I grab Jasper and Flint by the shoulders and say, I have an odd idea. I remember these 7 dwarves that went into barrels and escaped out of a town that way. I wonder if we can do the opposite going in.
I mean, I'm sure that'd be fine. We'd have to know where they're picking up the barrels from, though.
It obviously doubles as a stable entrance and whatever.
Maybe we could just sneak in through there after they leave.
Needs they have.
Food for thought. Speaking of food for thought, let's go. I'm hungry.
Let's go.
You're having another meat pie.
we haven't had them yet. We've been talking as we've been walking.
I thought we've been eating meat pies this whole time.
Yeah, I thought we went and got them.
That was an appetizer. We're getting the meat pie now.
Okay.
And as they bring out this giant thing.
That was the meat personal pan pie. Now for the full.
Come on, I'll split one with you.
that was the appetizer meat pie
I
course
hate to
that they're
pass
bringing
out
out.
pie.
I'm maybe tomorrow morning I could have something. I think that honestly that bread bowl mushroom stew combo is gonna sit me probably for the rest of the evening.
There's no to
Anyways.
go cups.
So they are on the side of
The church.
the temple or the church, and are delivering goods on the inside of wine caskets
And it's like
or
going down
some kind of
stairs.
barrel.
It's like
This
a cellar
merchant,
area.
this merchant's just backed up their cart and they're unloading it into the smaller hand carts to transport it into the building.
Okay.
I mean, that seems like a pretty good way to try and get in.
Seems like a good entrance. We'll have to make note of that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm tapped, so if we're planning to do anything tonight, I won't have any spells with me, so it's a good old-fashioned infiltration for me.
It's up to y'all.
My
I'm pretty
devices are fully charged. I haven't used any of them today except for that one alarm. But I've got plenty of phlogiston if you need me to do something.
So Flint is a
Well,
yay
Jasper-
on infiltrating right now, or nay?
Well, infiltrating, not so much. My
Jasper,
suit,
you realize there's a lot of food going in there for the priest you saw.
it's not an infiltrator mode yet, so I wouldn't be much good at stealth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Yeah.
ale.
Beating somebody up if we needed to. I don't want to do that to the priest unless we absolutely have to, of course. But so maybe
Yeah,
it's
you
not-
had him coming. I wouldn't have attacked him if he wasn't coming straight at me.
It's usually a good way to start.
Yeah, let's not make any rash decisions that might affect friendships.
I guess
And then suddenly I remember that I'm mad at Branbrek.
Do you put down the meat pie that you had?
No, I still eat it, but just
Is there
a little
pause
more
and you're
like
just like,
angrily.
well, I guess
well, Hargis will just eat his meat pie and watch.
Hargis could make three
some
of
would
us
take a long time to mend. Wish I
invisible.
knew some high-level clerics.
Yeah. Yeah,
What was
Hargis,
that?
No, it's
Hargis could make three of us invisible.
I need modify memory.
Sure.
Scroll.
Oh, we forgot to check on. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the question: is whether we feel comfortable waiting another day for all this to go on, or
That's
or
what
whether we
Bran
want to
would
get
like to do, is do it the next day. However, Bran is also fine with infiltrating right now. It's really up to whether or not you guys feel that that's a good idea to do now or not.
When you mentioned
I'm
magic item,
fine waiting till tomorrow, and if I get the little ping in my helmet, then we can at least do something with that priest. But for now, I don't see any urgency.
Okay.
Unless, of course, the
Jasper?
daughter and mother are in trouble, but I don't know if we even know that's
I mean, I suppose
the case right now.
4 days is no worse than 3 days at this point. If they're,
Only the difference between life and death.
I mean, maybe that's kind of my concern, is that, it might be the difference.
Who knows? Maybe that bird has a healthy diet of dwarf.
I need to go to the bathroom. Be right back.
Yeah, can we take a 5-minute or
let's do that.
break?
All right, sounds good.
We'll be right back.
Bathroom?
Yeah, cool.
Sounds good.
Well, to save a little time,
Sitting at the meat pie place, hanging out,
right?
talking about what our plans are. Here's my thought. I think I'm not going to sleep very well tonight unless I know that they're safe and sound, or that I've done everything I can to find out if they are, at least for the moment, safe. I would like to go in through the basement, either by myself or with maybe one or two others, and take a look. Hargis has invisibility. He could make, one or two or three of us invisible, and we could just shuffle along. If everyone wants to go, and we want to do it that way, it would be a terrible waste, but I could polymorph myself into something very small and ride along inside your pocket. But it would be a very big waste of that, to do so. But it would work. And we could all be invisible, and we could all go together, and we could get down there and see what was going on.
It's too bad you don't know what the bird looks like, so you could have turned into that.
I mean, I'm not sure it would have helped necessarily. It wouldn't have necessarily helped us find the girl, but if I see the thing, it would be kind of fun to be able to turn into whatever it is in the future. So,
be interesting to see their reactions.
Yeah, it could have been.
They were the ones controlling it or whatever. Then seeing it rogue flying away could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have been
interesting.
But for now, I think I want to get in and have a good long look around. And,
I will say I'm really not quiet. I'm not a sneaky person, especially with this heavy clanky armor on.
Mm-hmm.
That's not in infiltrator mode. That takes all night to charge it up to that mode. And I don't have my quiet boots right now, so...
Well...
I think I'd best stay out here, maybe to keep watch. I don't know.
Well, you do see a curious thing. Your feathers all have a gray tinge around the edges.
Oh.
Like they've gone flat and gray.
That wasn't there before?
Yeah, they're very colorful before.
It was very colorful, and it already, if you'd have looked and you'd have seen they had a gray ring around them. But now it's very definitely progressing.
That's very odd. Can I do an Arcana check or a Nature, or what would be appropriate?
Sure.
Which one do you think, Arcana?
Probably Arcana.
Arcana, okay. Advantage because of my mystery smoke book for a magic object, then?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay.
Sorry, random phone call distracted me for a moment.
I understand.
Not terrific. 13. You know what?
13.
I got inspiration. No, it would have faded by now, the inspiration. So, 13.
It's like they're losing whatever slight magic charge they had.
Yeah. Our feathers are losing color, Bran. They're going gray. They're losing all of their color.
So they're
fading.
From a decidedly magic creature, then.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe a summoned creature of some sort that lasts a certain amount of time and disappears, and maybe it...
Well, why didn't the feather disappear then?
I don't know. I've never tried cutting fur off of one of the shadow beasts and seeing what happens.
Or maybe the bird just died and now its feathers are all turning grey.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Indigestion.
Maybe. Actually, I've got a wolf,
flipper.
Yeah, I've got a wolf, a panther, and a weasel here. So I'll cut some fur off of the wolf's back, and I imagine it just turns into smoke and dissipates. Yeah. So this just...
I would imagine it would lose coherency.
Yeah,
it probably stays right until it dies, and then the fur disappears. That's what I would guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe this thing's another summoned creature or something like that. But what do you think? You want to stay out here and watch the front? And
I just don't think I think I'd mess up the operation if I was trying to be quiet. Mm-hmm. Even though I'd be invisible, I'd be clanking all over the place in this thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm not much use without the armor itself. Most of my...
Well...
Okay.
I mean, I could
suggest you
the
did
gadgets
mention
and whatnot, but...
buying a scroll or something. Or we could polymorph you for a brief time.
That's true. You could turn me into the little beastie and put me in your pocket, and then the rest of you do the sneaking.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I feel like this is for y'all to figure out.
all or some? What do you guys think? Do we all go in, or do we just do a quick scout and come back, sort of thing?
I think we might as well go in, because if things go down, then better to have all of us.
I have non-detection, if you like.
You still got some tricks in your sleeve, right, Branbrek? You've got your knives, you've got your...
Right, if I go in by myself, that's fine, I'll be scouting, but if I find something I need to act on right then, I mean, I have no way of letting you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Other than, causing enough of a ruckus that you can figure out something happened.
Right. Okay. We're all going in then?
Let's do it. What are you gonna transform me into?
Well,
can it be any animal?
It could be many. Pretty much anything I've seen. Yeah.
Could it be a chipmunk?
Sure. I have an affinity for flying. How about a flying squirrel, or do you just really fancy a big puffy tail?
Flying squirrel could be. I mean, if that had the utility aspect to it, that might work. I was more just thinking my daughter's favorite animal is a chipmunk, and it'd be wonderful to tell her what it's like to be one.
We certainly can do that. How about something with the ability to fly? I was thinking maybe praying mantis.
I mean, like a little bird or something.
Yeah, praying mantis.
I don't think I want to be a praying mantis after I've seen, what their heads look like up close.
Great eyeballs, really good peripheral vision.
Praying mantis. I might. No, I'd rather it be something with a little less mouth parts.
All right. We could do a little hummingbird. How about that?
Right. I mean, a little fragile to be putting in your pocket, but I could follow you closely, right?
I think if we're going invisible, the idea is that you're going to be in someone's pocket, right?
Seems a little bit fragile then.
Well, I'm not going to sit on it. I've carried hundreds of bugs around with me for ages.
That's true. That's true. All right. Yeah. Let's. That's fine with me then.
All right.
Flying squirrels are awfully cute.
That's true. It's true. This way, if things get really crazy, you've got the option of just trying to fly out of there and escape as quick as you can. Ooh, how about
be a flying chipmunk?
Bat will give you echolocation. You can see in the dark pretty much.
I'm probably not going to depend much on my on the animal's senses and whatnot. If things go bad, I expect you to just drop the spell and let me take care of things the Flint way.
All right.
So this is mostly, I think, just a convenience thing for now.
He's alluding to murder.
That's true.
I would never murder.
Cold.
I got some meat pie down the wrong throat.
Unless that person was trying to murder someone helpless.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they were all really bad.
All right. Okay. Do we have
Nobody's ever murdered anybody here.
Dang it.
I don't know about that. Justifiably.
One time tonight.
Let's not argue semantics right now. We got a job to do.
Convenient
chipmunk, then, please, Jasper, and let's go.
Chipmunk it is. All right. All right. Let's get into a place where it won't be too obvious, where we suddenly all turn invisible and turn into rodentia and such.
Are you sure there's no chance, because we are dealing with a big bird, that we turn into rodents, we go inside, and we thinks we're dinner?
Well, I'm going to have Flint in my pocket for for chipmunk time. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll keep him out of sight for now.
Okay.
All right. Is there an area where we can get a clear shot to the loading bay?
There's tons of buildings and such around.
Okay.
You could probably walk right up to it.
Okay.
It'd be relatively unobserved.
Yeah. We'll just get as close as
of
we
course,
can
Okay.
and duck into an alley, and Jasper will kind of, kink his neck and get ready to just reach out and say, "All right, Flint, this feels kind of weird, but just stay calm and don't fight it. All right? If you fight against it, then it might not work. So I just need you to relax and just think cute little furry chipmunk thoughts, and we'll get you there, no problem. All right?
All right. I'll just think of my little Gertie and what I'll be telling her.
And Jasper looks at him and just whispers, "Forms of the tree, Father, your many creations, make this man a chipmunk." And there's a brief swirl of leaves around you, and a little chipmunk.
Now is he a fat little chipmunk? Like,
Oh, for sure, little pot belly.
when I see that,
I posted a picture.
Jasper can talk to small animals, so you can actually understand him a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I imagine it's a much simplified form of communication, but Jasper's just like, "Doing okay?"
okay,
so nuts here.
Do you have any nuts in your pocket for me? I'm suddenly hungry again.
Yeah, give me
I will.
a couple pine nuts.
I will hand him a few nuts, and I'll start tickling his belly.
Yeah. All right.
I'll bite his finger.
Can I use a dexterity saving throw or uncanny dodge to?
I'll make an attack roll.
Okay.
With like a +1, I assume.
I assume a +1.
But we'll see if it's a crit. Well, I don't know.
2 points of damage.
Nah, it's a 7. So
snaps it.
Okay.
Pull
okay.
away. Okay.
So you
All right. These things are very delicate.
Is it missing an arm?
I think I would probably be missing an arm.
That's an interesting question. Because you take the form of the beast. The beast isn't missing an arm, the one that I saw. So you've got 4 limbs again, I'd say.
Well, do you form the beast in your mind?
Yeah, you see the chipmunk kind of looking at that arm
on his skin, on the fur,
scratching it a little bit. And...
Yeah, weird. All right, hop in here. I'll put you. I've got Bruce the bat on this side.
Phantom itches you're gonna have.
I'm gonna tuck Flint. You just get under the vest over on this side. Buckle up. All right, Hargus. Let's get moving. Can you cast invisibility on?
In the time, he plays a little ditty and sings a song of invisibility, and everybody's invisible.
Okay. We should do like
nobody passes your alarm while you've been doing all this. By the way,
so there's an issue here.
Hand on shoulder.
Where's your shoulder? I can't find you.
I tap him with my staff. Over here.
You can see me?
I just swing the staff around until I come into contact with the body.
Does he hear Hargus go, ooh!
Over this way.
When the dude's up, of course. Story of my life.
I'll put the staff on my shoulder.
No. Is it ability as an attack?
No, it's just I'll put it on my shoulder. Just grab it there. I'll hold it on my shoulder. I'll walk in the front or the back.
How about this?
Whoever wants to take lead.
You see that tree over there?
Sure.
You walk to it first.
All right.
I'll walk to it next. And then Hargus will walk to it next, and then we'll just grab shoulders there.
Okay, sounds good.
There you go.
And we...
All right.
That's my head, Hargus.
Impeccable.
Okay. And can we sneak in through the cellar loading area?
Right, it's barred, but it's easily jimmied.
Oh, you gotta unpick it or pick it.
It's just a simple bar.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
And it's not. Nobody's watching it.
Nice.
These priests aren't
that.
security conscious at this level.
Interesting.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
go in.
You realize it doubles as a stables and a storage for their personal temple wagon, and let me see. Nobody's in there. Definitely nobody in there.
It's because they're dead.
They're all engaged in transporting stuff on these little carts you see. There's like a wagon, 2 wagon wheels and a platform. They're pushing up this sloped hallway.
Yield and forklift.
More or less.
Okay.
Porter's cart.
So we'll just sneak in and follow from a safe distance, looking for things that shoot off, trying to get towards maybe that. We'll just see where it leads, right?
It's empty until you get to 2 big double doors.
Okay. Do they go into the double doors, those 2?
Correct.
Okay.
And they're not locked.
Can we sneak in behind them as they are opening and closing the double doors?
They're making a good racket. Okay. And they're invisible, so it shouldn't be a problem. You can easily catch up with them because they're under some weight. And you can walk right in behind them because they're going to all get. And apparently they're taking their stuff to the storage area. Then they're going to come back and close it, park the carts, blah blah blah. They didn't close the gates, so you're in.
Okay, just keep sneaking along.
You do see that there is 4 of these. Well, actually, there's 2 humans and 2 dwarves in the hallway, all in the priest robes with chainmail and obviously armed, and they're just wearing them out as they're not even hiding them in their robe. It's like they cocked their robe over the weapon for quick draw kind of thing.
Okay.
And they're just wondering what kind of ale was brought in.
Are they guarding another entrance into a different part of the temple?
These aren't.
No.
These are not. And you realize you're in one of the wings Bran described. There was 2 wings going to left and right, and you're in one of those wings, and what appears to be on either side are storage room for food and supplies.
Okay.
That's it.
So it ends here. We've come down this tunnel and into the storage room area.
No, it continues on. There's doorways all the way down the hall, and you see where it branches to the left and right. To the left would be where Bran was in that little old musty storage area. And to the right would head back into the temple.
Let's try and get to the storage area. I think that would be our destination through here then, once we found it.
Okay. Now that stuff is going, you see priests that are obviously not, just in their air. They're obvious, and the fact that their shoulders are huge. You see that they're, what am I trying to say? The strength, these additional priests are wandering the halls now that services are over. And apparently one of the rooms serves as a bunk room. But if you go to the left, you see the overly heavy door to that storage area. It's just an older door that predates most of the temple, or most of the newer construction.
Okay.
So we can go into that same room again?
You can go in there.
Okay. Once we get in, pretty quiet still? Or?
There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of fresh crates stacked up in there. Things have been moved from the back wall. And that is it.
Oh, dang, of all the times, this is where we need Flint to be looking at that wall. He's a bloody squirrel.
Pop him out.
Well,
if we pop him out, getting out of here becomes much more difficult.
Oh.
How much more time do you have on your that was a level 4 spell.
Level 4 spell? I'll have to look it up.
The number of targets. It's an hour regardless.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. So, second level, third level, fourth level, he had to use...
You have a good 45 minutes on the spell.
Oh,
if it's an hour.
Hargus,
it took no time to get in here.
Why don't you and Bran take a look at that wall, see if you can find another entrance. I'll watch the door here and hopefully find anything. Actually, I'll flip down my goggles. Does activating a magic item break invisibility?
No.
I don't.
I need to check on that.
When I read about it,
I think it's casting a spell. I think it's casting a spell or attacking, and so that would be casting.
Yeah. Attacking. I don't remember
casting
the
a spell or attacking. So I couldn't cast a spell, but I could light a torch. I could
Lighting
tap the wall with my.
There might be.
Yeah, casting detect magic would be a spell.
Or cast. So there's a question. I'm activating a magical item. I am not casting a spell. So based on the arcana of this world, does that count?
Most magic items say you can use this magic item to cast the spell. Blah, blah, blah.
Is that how the goggles work then? They cast the spell so they would break?
Is that a real magic item? I'll look up a wand of magic detection. That's the closest.
Well, a wand would definitely be casting the spell.
Yeah.
In my head, I had imagined that it's just the goggles allow the viewing of magic, but
I'll allow it.
That's the problem with. Okay, all right. The DM made a decision. There you go.
All right, I flip the goggles down, push the button on the side. They start running through their time and just take a look at that back wall. Is there any magic coming off the back wall?
Oh dear.
There's no magic coming off the back wall.
All right, well.
Apparently I still had some hot sauce on my hand or something.
Oh no. Oh no. That's
mundane stone.
It's the darkest
awesome.
Okay. Hargus, why don't you take a look at the wall, see if you can notice anything back there.
Give me half a moment.
You can do it with advantage if Bran is helping you too.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Hargus has a knowing smile on his face. Anybody else care to try Flint?
Nope.
Has Flint been...
Flint is a squirrel in my pocket at the moment.
I'm a chipmunk, so...
Sorry, chipmunk.
Hargus pulls... You see him take a knife out and prise something from the bottom edge of the wall. It's a coin that has been shoved under the edge of the wall, and when he does, he's looking at you. Oh, you make eye contact? And then he just kind of leans on the wall. with a smile like he's doing a magic trick. After he gets the coin out, he leans on the wall and the stone shifts.
Oh man, good job, boys, good job. All right, so I can see this little coin floating in the air. Is it just
somebody's done the? Oh yeah, we're all invisible.
Yeah, it's just a plain coin. They just use it as a tricky little wedge lock sort of.
Somebody wedged it underneath the edge of the stone. The stone moves.
Interesting.
Odd.
I am perception like Brand.
A little coin has been pulled from the wall that allows the wall to move inward now, Bran. So we can start making our way inside.
Right.
All right, let's do it. Do we close it from the other side? Is that the way? Show me where you got that coin from, so we'll have to, so we know exactly where it is later in case that comes up.
Okay, you see the stone get placed on the floor, and then it's being slid back and forth.
All right.
It's a trick very similar to something Hargus did when y'all first met him, where he locked a door with wedging pennies in it, coins in it. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's interesting. All right. Should we close it from the other side once we're through, or
It's up to y'all.
what do you guys think?
Hargus nods his head invisibly.
Yeah, leave it open or wedge it shut from the other side.
I think we should make it seem like we weren't even here, personally.
So we'll try and
The
close
longer
it.
that happens.
All right, let's
So
get
just
moving.
close it like normal.
Clock's ticking. All right. Stay close, Hargus. I know you can't see once it gets too dark. Is it dark down there?
There is illumination coming from somewhere, a glowing ambient light. And then you look up, you realize that you can see light coming.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like there's a spiral, like a big spiral stair that looks like it may have an opening up higher into the main chimney, I guess, for lack of a better way to call it, skylight.
Mm-hmm.
Only this spiral stairs is going around a much larger, like, flue. This room is an antechamber to a larger room.
So
It's pretty grand scale, like 20-foot wide opening.
Okay, so we're in a small open area before a much larger room, and our stairs spiraling upwards around.
It's a pretty large area. There's actually open sky above you, or close to it.
All right, so we'll close the wall behind us.
And you realize the stone here is much older.
Okay. And there are stairs going up.
How do I describe it? The room you're in is like 20 by 20.
Okay.
The next room is about the same size with a big, like, opening, where you step down into it.
Okay.
The light's coming from the other room.
Oh.
Above you, the dimensions stay the same all the way up this flue.
Okay.
And it has stairs going around the outside of it, spiraling up. And you can see that it's actually wider than that because of the stairs.
Right.
To one side, like basically where you entered in, there's maybe 3 stories up, there is an opening, and you can see at an angle, you can see the skylight from the other temple area.
Okay. All right. Should we check out this other room first and see if we go that way, or do we go up? I mean, I feel like we should just check this side room first, huh?
Take a peek inside, but if it's going to lead down another way, I don't think it's worth it.
Okay. As we scamper over and take a look at the other room, the lower ground room, see what's in there.
Right.
Right.
All right. There is like a little raised area. There's a long box laying on the floor with a elaborate gilded framework just standing against the wall with hooks on the corners. The long box, the lid has been pried off of it like it's freshly been sat here and just sitting there. And in front of that stands a green statue with a stylized demon's face, big gold necklace with a big stone in it, with 6 arms, and it's all like a jade type material.
And it looks like a demon?
Yeah.
I really hope it doesn't look like a demon.
If a demon in the way that you would artfully make a demon to stand in front of a Chinese restaurant kind of demon.
Very fancy.
Got big tusk and big bulging eyes. And somehow it's actually pretty attractive. Mm-hmm. It's obviously female.
Ooh.
And it's just got these
6 arms, sort of.
6 arms and hands just in this stylized kind of spread out around it.
What's the pose?
Around her. They're just spread out, displaying their hands.
So just kind of like.
What is it wearing?
It's all one piece, and it's wearing just like really elaborate robes, but it's all made of the same jade-looking translucent green stone.
And this room,
almost, it looks like a semi-precious stone.
yeah. And that thing fit inside this box that's on the ground, obviously.
No, it's standing in front of that box.
With the arms out, I'm like, is this box of a size that it could fit inside of that box, or is the
No.
Is it a Russian
box is
pissing doll?
actually-
Is what he's asking.
yeah?
No, the box is long and maybe 2 by 2, with something just folded, back and forth and laying in it.
Put that box inside of another box.
Oh boy.
It's cloth and it has like a metal rod attached to the top of it. And it's made of the same thing as the elaborate gilded frame. So it obviously is of a piece. Like you would lift it up and hang it on the hooks.
Should we look inside the box on the ground? Is there any point to that?
Let me see if I can describe this a little better. As you walk into that room, you see that there's a raised platform. It's all made out of stone. It's a quite fine stone, but it's obviously ancient. This room is partially finished. There's a statue standing on this raised platform, which is round. And behind it, somebody has set this box against the wall, set up this framework, and that's as you see it.
And the box... Well, that's interesting, because the box, it's not big enough for the statue to go into.
No.
And we can't really see what's inside the box. It's just some cloth inside the box, from what we can tell. Okay. All right. Do we go look inside the box or no?
There's just... They have braziers sitting around. That's what's giving off this low light. And it keeps it warm in here, too, by the way.
This is really creepy, right?
Well, it is awfully quiet. And there's the wind coming from the entrance above. There's quite a breeze coming through here.
What do you think, Flint? Oh, Flint, you're a squirrel. Bugger. Chipmunk. Bugger. What are you doing, buddy?
Is he gnawing through your shirt right now?
No, he's very well behaved. I gave him some pine nuts. He's fine. You can't see him anyway. He's invisible.
No, but I don't. But tell that to the trail that you're leaving behind.
Did y'all close the main door?
Yeah, we closed the main door. Yeah.
Just rolled it back closed.
There's like all these little crumbs behind you. You're like, oh,
Yeah. It's so we can find our way out. It's a brilliant plan.
perfect.
It's flawless.
What are you, Dancel and Greta?
Dancel and Heddle. Yep.
Dancel and Heather?
All
I'm gonna eat
That
some
stupid
popcorn while y'all
gnome
think.
tale that you told us about 3 months ago?
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Should I go? I'm gonna go look in the box, right?
I mean, who goes and asks a hag for a favor?
As you step up onto the platform that the statue's stepping on, it moves.
Oh, bloody hell.
And if you freeze, it stops moving.
Does it move towards him?
It basically just looks at him, and its arms move down to its sides.
Oh. And do I have to get on the platform to get to the box?
Yes. Nope.
I
Yeah, you'd have to.
I step
could
backwards
use Mage
off
Hand.
the platform.
Oh, it doesn't move anymore.
Can I reach forward with my staff and push the lid off the box? Like if I reach toward
The lid's tilted up behind it. Nobody bothered to put it back on. It's like they just took it off the rack and then just folded it into the box. Kind of lazy.
Oh. Does that look like a large tapestry inside this box?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
That's the tapestry.
That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the people.
Right, okay. I don't know what this is, and it's weirding me out, but it's not a little girl and it's not the mother, so
Unless they're trapped inside some tapestry. Let's keep moving.
Yeah. Oh gosh, this is super weird.
Listen, we're not here to investigate whoever's kink it is with that tapestry. We're here to find a mother and child.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure they weren't inside the box. But then it's just the tapestry. All right. Okay.
I mean,
the box, by the way, exactly matches the wood and everything. The patina of the box exactly matches all the other boxes out in the other room. Is that, is a clue.
So weird. Box has a tapestry in it.
Let's just light it on fire and move on.
Right. Do we go up the big, giant, long...
I got mixed feelings about that.
Okay. No other entrances or exits in this room that we can tell, or...?
Not unless you want to climb some stairs.
Branbrek would like to start pouring
antechamber.
some oil.
The dimensions of this is staggering.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. It's a great construction.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obviously older than the temple.
Right. But the stairs are in the chamber that we first came in, not this chamber, right? Or are there stairs in this chamber, too?
I guess, how do I describe it?
You said there was an antechamber, and then
the stairs were... the stairs would be in the ante room.
Right.
No.
But this room is also just huge and goes up forever, huh?
This room is it's partially natural cave. There's some old tile that at one time this was a more elaborate or structure.
Mm-hmm.
The floor matches that ancient foundation that we were talking about earlier. It looks like a rediscovered area, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, what do you think? Up the stairs?
There's lots of dust and debris in places, and like this dais has obviously been cleaned off, and the statue is immaculate.
Okay.
I mean, either way, this isn't the coffin we're looking for.
No, it's not. It's not. And I don't know what it's here for. It's super weird. It moved. The stone statue moved. Did you see the stone statue move?
Listen, you literally turned our friend into a chipmunk.
Sure.
Why is that weird to you? And I'm gonna start walking out.
All right. Up the stairs, I guess. And we start hoofing it up these stairs quick as we can, because we probably got, half hour left on our invisibility?
I mean, you used to be convinced that you actually invented things and made cricket cakes that were healthful.
Well,
I'm not having any of that.
Too soon for that, I think, but I appreciate that. I appreciate the observation. You have a valid point. In my defense, there's precedent for inventing things that work. I mean...
Yeah, that work.
That's true.
Right. So we're just hoofing our way up these stairs.
Do I hear Jasper dragging his feet a little bit more?
You can walk these stairs, but just looking at them, it will take most of your remaining invisibility to get up the stairs.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it's a lot of stairs. And they don't just go zigzag up, they spiral up this elevation.
After, the 14th flight.
Well, make an observation, because there's a lot of obvious evidence going around.
Obvious, that's what we need. We need things that are super obvious.
Listen, I don't think you could literally put the people
with advantage
in my... Okay, I'll do it with advantage.
Because you've seen them before.
6.
With advantage? Oh my
that thing is not consistent.
What is going on? It's just one of
I
those
mean,
nights.
it's better than 3.
I got a 16.
Oh, you see more of those gouge marks.
On the
3 and
stuff, huh?
4 on the walls.
Incredibly obvious, but I just thought it was part of the decor.
Yeah, on the walls,
Now
on the
that you pointed
stairs.
out, I see that.
Bran's like putting his hands into these giant gouge marks as they're going up. Just like, these are the worst handrails I've ever encountered. Just terrible craftsmanship.
Well, it's pretty impressive considering the stone. It's pretty impressive. The fresh, they stand out. Now that you see them, they stand out because you got this new stone, these new gouge marks in this ancient stone.
And they're all the way from the bottom going like all the way up?
Yeah, like something climbed
up
the chimney. Or flew, I've called it.
It was like clawing as it went up. Oh, man. Do you think the statue...
Grasping.
Do you think the statue is like...
Can fly?
Can
Probably
change
not.
into something, and maybe the statue changes into this thing, and...
I don't know. Did the statue have wings and the same color as what the feathers are turning into now, as well as that design?
No, but if it can move, maybe it can grow wings. I don't know. Just hoofing.
I know there's a fortune. We could take that jade. We could take the jade from that statue and live like kings. Not to mention that fancy gold necklace with the stone.
I don't know why we're whispering when Hargus is that loud with us.
It moved, though.
He is not bothering to whisper.
Yeah.
He is.
Shut up, Hargus, you fool.
Yeah, you missed a good spot there.
Sorry, I was getting some nuts because
you got
the
chipmunk form was making me hungry.
So Hargus started talking. I was like, Jasper, I don't know why we're whispering when Hargus is that loud. And he said, "Yeah, Hargus doesn't care."
Sorry, lads.
Chamber.
Sorry, lads.
But
blame it on the drink.
Also, as whatever flight that we're on now, you're gonna hit Branbrek, start mumbling, "What dwarf in their right Jord forsaken mind, would build this many stairs for no gosh darn reason?"
Hey, they're fine for you, but imagine a human. They're just frustrating as hell. These short half steps. They seem to be normal.
I can't see Hargus, but I'm imagining him doing this like really tiny, like fast step up the stairs.
I think he's just taking like
the scale of these steps are not dwarven.
Oh, so it's even worse for us.
Yeah, it's a labor.
Ugh. It's being short.
Are they longer than the dwarven gate, or are they...
They're longer than a human gate.
Longer than a human gate. Whoa.
I disagree with everything on all these levels. Who made this? They are jerks. They did not expect company.
Well, it's an odd mix of rough and ancient and well-crafted, just patina of eons. It's just old.
Somebody hasn't refurbished recently.
And there is a room at the top of these stairs that we're heading towards, right?
There's an opening.
An opening. Okay.
Remember in the main temple, there's a big chimney or skylight?
Okay.
The whole temple goes straight up in basically a chimney.
Okay.
Well, from the way it's laid out, this opening probably opens into that chimney.
Seems like a terrible idea.
Interesting.
Is that sulfur I smell, or am I just downwind?
I don't know our marching order, so it could be anything.
I don't know what does that apply.
Who's in front?
It's echoing strangely on these stairs. I don't know who's in front or what, but...
Right. You smelt it, laddie.
So...
Oh, I'd claim it if it was mine. At least then I could be proud of it.
So we get to the top of these stairs, and it's an opening at the top.
Lightly, so
they level out, and they walk around, and you realize a flat area, launch, and there's a lot of those, looks like grasping claw marks, and you can look up, and maybe 10 feet up the chimney is the open sky, and then all the way back down, you can see little ants, and which are priests and, tiny furniture, pillows, whatnot. and a
No
crazy
sign
amount of noise.
But no sign of a bird.
It must
No. But there's all sorts of... Of course, there's a breeze, so there's no feathers, but claw marks.
Bloody hell. I think we have to try and talk to the creepy, weird statue.
They're all fresh. And there's a lot of...
Let me get my breath. That was a lot of stairs.
Oh, yeah. You're feeling it.
And our invisibility
I'm jealous of that chipmunk right now.
out at this point.
Feeling the burn. Buns of steel.
Invisibility is probably...
I'm not going to have any buns left. I'm going to be melting to slag at this point.
Melt your buns off.
That's right.
Are we coming up on the end of our invisibility?
I'm going to look. Is there a railing?
You're past the end of your invisibility.
Okay. Jasper
tell me
quickly
there's a railing.
pulls...
There's no railing.
quickly pulls...
There's a railing on the stairs, but there's no railing here.
Okay.
Does that mean polymorph is going to end?
I was going to say,
too?
Jasper quickly pulls Chipmunk Flint out of his pocket and sets him on the ground as he pops back.
Spiffle.
Hey, buddy.
Does the wind pick up and almost blow him off?
Yeah.
No, it's just a low rumble at this height, this close to the top. It's just a low rumble blowing top of the, mouth of the chimney.
All right. Flint, were you able to retain your memory from all that? You got everything? Did you see the green statue?
That was the most carefree hour of my entire life. I'm trying to remember everything that we were going to do.
You've got some in your beard.
That's weird.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I remember saying...
Pine nuts are delicious to chipmunks, but acorns are delicious to chipmunks. But I've ate acorns without doing anything to them. That's not cool.
You can't do that. They don't.
I wouldn't recommend it.
It's very bad. It's very bad.
There's a statue.
Right. So the question is, do we go try and engage the statue? The creepy, weird demon statue and try and ask it questions about what's going on?
Was the statue magical?
I forgot to check.
I'm fairly certain,
I imagine
not too
so.
often.
It is made of stone and moved when we approached, so I just kind of assumed some sort
Are
of
you sure it was made of stone?
No, but I mean reasonably. I suppose it could have
Well,
been very
when it
well
moved,
painted.
it made a horrendous
Detecting a
stone
large
on
amount of
stone.
assumptions here, Jasper.
Okay, so I've seen those people in like the public parks in Hardale where they stand there really still and then people walk up and they go like, and then they try and get tips for that sort of thing. But
Hey, the golden cow pie! I know that dude.
Right, that guy. But that guy was nowhere near this good. I'm just saying. Next level stuff. So if it is a person just holding really still painted green, then I suppose this might go easy.
Well, how did he manage that glass breaking, stone grinding sound that it was making?
I mean, it could just be really good with impressions. I knew a guy who could do a constable siren just perfectly. Yeah.
Well, I don't trust the mime, I'll tell you that now.
Right. Well, no one does, Hargus.
Well, I think I was near pocket
Playing
for
and
most
not
of it,
mine
but,
the next time I die.
did we have to sneak past anyone to get this far?
Yes, but
Oof.
if we want to
Dare
get
not
out,
kill
all we
me
have to
then,
do is run up
Hargus.
these stairs and jump off the top here, and I can float us all down.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we have a way out.
So,
And what have we learned? Or
Well-
what do we need to do next?
We've learned not very much.
are we visible now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go back down the stairs just a little bit. To get
Right.
out of the open, at least.
I'm not getting any younger here.
Yeah.
Slow steps.
Yeah.
The stairs are more painful going down, of course. But you get to the bottom. And, it is definitely quiet. There's this that sounds odd, but the ambient noise coming from the top of the chimney pretty much silences anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a big windy sound. Well, what do you think? I mean, do we go talk to a weird statue thing, or do we try and leave here now?
I'd like to fill my pockets with jade.
I'm starting to think
I don't
there
think we're
is
going to
no
break a statue
girl.
into pocket-sized pieces, Hargus. That doesn't seem...
Oh, yeah, it's probably worth a fortune, but it's not functional.
I'm starting to think that there is no little girl.
I
There
do a
is
medicine
no
check on
woman,
Hargus. Did
and there
Hargus
is
have
no
a stroke?
bird.
Hargus, what's the matter with you? Are you okay? Are you doing well? Are you feeling well?
It's a fine, shiny piece of jewelry there.
Oh, sure. On a moving statue, Hargus.
Well, we could talk it up a bit first.
All right. I guess that's the question is, are we going to try and talk to the moving statue and see if it will give us information about why it turns into a winged monstrosity and kidnaps young women and girls? I mean, that seems the logical deduction here, right? It's downstairs. Claw marks lead upstairs. The
I don't
statue
know.
turns into a bird.
Is the statue missing a shoe?
Don't believe it had any shoes on. Did the statue have shoes on? I don't think it did.
It didn't. It
was
had bare
made all of
feet.
stone, yeah.
It had that little
Then it's
sarong.
missing its shoes. We
It was
found the
very nice.
culprit.
Very tastefully done. It was well dressed for its time.
I think we're assuming the shoe belonged to the
Crazy,
the missing
detailed,
ladies.
and
Yeah.
Well,
elaborate.
listen, we don't even know if the bird wears little girls' shoes, and it was all elaborate ploy in the first place. We're trying to figure this out.
Let's at least go back to the statue so I can take a better look at it.
This is
And
quite literally the
see.
biggest wild goose I have ever chased.
How long is it going to take us to run down these stairs?
Oh, you're down. Let's save some time.
As we were talking, we were walking down.
Yeah, I hope so, because it's a good 30 minutes
makes-
to
that
get
makes
down the
sense, yeah.
stairs.
It's like on Big
From my
Bang Theory,
experience.
how they just keep walking around, like talking over and over again, like 4 or 5 floors, because
Yeah.
the elevator's always
I
broken.
keep
It's 3
thinking of-
stories. It's at least 6 stories of stairs.
Oh boy, I keep thinking of Monty Python and the chaplain.
Yeah. There's some of that depth for sure.
Hey, you knock it off! Shove off! Get on there! Get out of here!
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Bloody weather.
Woohoo!
Alright, so we get back down the stairs. Okay.
Ooh.
Pull out my
Good thing you'd walked down most of them before you turned me back. I'm good to go. That wasn't
Definitely feeling the
bad
burn.
Alright.
Thanks for the ride.
So you can see the statue there. If you get close to it, that's when it starts.
Jasper,
Yes?
There's
Don't
it's sitting on a large
Featherfall.
dais.
Yes, I do.
Why didn't we just do that?
Oh,
I figure
You
we
I
can't
guess I could have
feather
played
fall
my
down
harp
the
and flown
stairs.
down.
That still would hurt, right?
Dang!
Oh, you could jump down the middle.
we'd have to jump down the middle, yeah. I mean, we could have, but I might.
Oh, I imagine it like there's a wall in the middle. Like,
Nope.
They're,
No, it's a
It's open.
chimney, so it's
Oh,
opened in
okay.
the middle.
on the periphery, yeah. We'd, yeah. We might need that for later. Is what I'm thinking.
It's a mute point right now because we're already down here and I'm already pissed.
You mean
Let's get going.
You mean a moo point?
It's standing on a good, large, round platform.
You could have sworn you heard something crunch. You're not sure what it was, but it came from his jaw area.
Did you break a tooth? Alright,
I haven't checked any coins yet.
what's it looking like, Flint?
I'm going to confidently approach the statue,
Oh, you see how he's
just
doing
Okay.
kind
that?
of slowly, see if anything happens.
All
The
right,
thing is
Steve.
returned to its original position. It's stylized like, it's obviously in still motion of some kind of dance.
Uh-huh.
But the minute you put a foot on the dais, it starts moving.
Does
I
it
guess we
start
need to
doing
explain.
the disco kind
Nope.
of movie?
No, it takes a foot over, its hands drop down to its side, it turns towards you like
Does
with
the shuffle?
Yeah.
Claps. Does the shuffle back?
So it looks
I'm
at
not
me.
really feeling what's going on. Yeah, it's looking in your direction with its blank stone eyes.
Hey,
I
Jasper.
say hi.
Go to the other
Nothing.
side.
Not a thing.
I take another step.
Okay, it has these polished bronze swords in its hands, and it starts raising them into a offensive stance.
Jasper, go to the other side.
Jasper's
Actually, screw this. Both of you stop
circling
moving.
around.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and have it go 30 feet, and then grab the coffin and try and open it.
Grab the tapestry.
Okay. The top is open. The bar that is supporting the top of the tapestry is just laying in the box.
Okay.
So you grab the tapestry and start pulling it out.
Well, it depends. How heavy is this tapestry?
Well,
I have Mage Hand too.
yeah, and so does Jasper. So yeah, he'll.
So we can do equivalently 15 pounds.
Yep. As you guys all start doing Mage Hand, you can quietly hear Jasper whisper, "Sticky hand." But when he does, instead, there's a little spectral.
Mine winks out and disappears.
A little spectral green hand shows up. Because he doesn't have to use the sticky hand invention.
So what are you doing?
All three of us are trying
Oh wait,
futilely
we
to
can
pick
do up
up
to
this bar.
30 pounds if all three of us do.
Okay.
We can do up to 10 pounds.
Yeah.
That's right, 10 pounds each. Yep. 30 pounds.
Well, with 30 pounds, it does go up fairly easily.
Okay. Pull it towards
And,
us. Pull it towards us.
You're pulling it towards you?
Yeah.
You'd have a difficult time pulling it past the statue.
Over it?
We'll pull it
The
under-
box,
we'll pull it
the
long
box
way
in the frame is laying behind the statue.
Okay.
So we can't go
Just-
over it. We can't go around it. So we gotta go through it.
Well, you can roll intuition.
Insight or
I love
Insight.
how Austin's the only one that got what I did there.
I couldn't believe that you were doing that, and you just did it. Like, I was like, this has to be a coincidence. Nope.
So what are you rolling? What'd you roll?
I don't think I get Dustin's reference.
It's an old song.
Oh.
Are we hooking it on Are we hooking it on the frame?
Going
are we
on
trying
a
to
bear
do?
hunt. Never heard that song.
No.
If you're trying to hook it on the frame, you can do it easily.
Yeah, we're just trying to pull it around, around it and pull it out that way, I guess.
That's different than hooking it on the frame.
I guess I don't know what hook on the frame what you're referring to. We're trying to pull it out of the room.
Oh, if you try to pull it out of the room, that would be different. Get on one end. I don't think you can drag the whole box with 30 pounds.
What about just the tapestry?
I thought you were trying to lift the tapestry, like the rod,
Uh-huh. If we can...
and then the tapestry would come up with it.
Okay. I guess we'll try and clear it from the box by lifting it straight up.
Okay, you can do that, and the thing opens up, and as the whole tapestry's moving, and there's a breeze coming through it, and ambient light.
What's it look like?
It looks like just a golden field of swaying grass with the sun coming from one corner of it and mountains in the distance.
Is there a small black knight in it?
No. It's a different tapestry.
Technically, that one was a painting, but...
Oh, there you go. This is a tapestry just because of the material on the back of it, I guess you could say.
Not sure what to do here.
And
I'm just gonna whisper, what are we doing here?
I don't know. We're poking bears.
There's a tangible breeze coming through the tapestry.
Through the tapestry? Like from the tapestry?
From the tapestry. It is...
From the tapestry.
Yeah, it is a full pastoral scene, and it's all moving.
Is that
So
breeze coming from the rug?
It's coming out of the tapestry, towards your faces, and up the chimney. You changed the draft in the building with it.
What?
don't think we should be here.
I am tempted to agree. See, last time we went through a mystical doorway into another realm.
Right.
It didn't go quite well for
Yeah.
everybody else.
Does this look?
I was fine.
Does this look like a mystical gateway into another plane?
It's a good 10
Let's see.
feet wide.
I'm gonna grab a dagger and I'm gonna chuck it at the tapestry.
It just goes through.
Like
It's
Just
gone.
goes into the field. And
disappears.
You see it twirl into the field and drop down.
dang, why did I choose that one? I actually like that dagger.
Mage hand it
My
back.
favorite dagger.
Reach into the tapestry and mage hand it back.
At least it wasn't the one I got back in Harddale.
Do you
Dang,
think
I had that one for a long time. I'm pretty sure that's the one my mother gave me on my 14th birthday.
so now you have
Just
to go?
my impulse to throw that one because it's my favorite one to fight with. But dang it!
It was just instinct, and
Pesky.
you develop habits. It's never gonna feel the same. Okay, Jasper, go through the tapestry.
I'm holding my staff right now.
Don't you have a mage hand that can reach in and pick
Grab
it up?
That's what I was thinking.
Now, because of the nature of the situation, I
Probably
do need to know
About 20 feet.
what to do. Okay?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So,
We're currently holding a tapestry by 3 mage hands up in the air.
well, Hargis will just say, why don't we just hook it on that frame? It's obviously made for.
Yeah, well, Flint talks to.
I don't know. That seems too easy. It feels like that's what they want us to do.
What they want us to do.
They also seem to want you to step up on that dais with the jaded bugaboo.
Is Is Flint like stepped off the dais at this point, or is he still like engaging?
Yeah, I backed away to see if
One
it
should
would lower
respect.
its sword.
It returns to its previous. It's got that freaky, overly dexterous movement, like swords up, and you see now that there's handles sticking out from behind its back, and returns to its previous position the minute you step off the dais.
I step back onto it.
All right.
Same thing. It reacts immediately.
I step forward and back and forward and back and watch it like twitch. And...
Yeah,
playing with the statue.
It makes that unpleasant glass ground by stone kind of sound.
Ooh.
And
that's right. Well, it's definitely gonna attack if we get close.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Is the tapestry fully unfurled, or
wait.
is it still
strange? Question.
There's still some in the box, but it's up like over your heads, like 10 feet. So now it's 10 by 10 entrance.
Is it if you touch the dais? So what if we fly over it?
Well,
you haven't tried it, but if you put any foot weight on it, the thing reacts, and you can see now.
Dumb idea.
You can look down now and you see that where your feet cleaned off the dais, it's the same kind of stone as the statue.
Do you want to just hang the thing on the hooks and then we can get
paying for that popcorn? Sorry,
we can get a look at the full tapestry and see if there's anything we're missing on there. You just get it up on there and hang it up and take a good look at it.
Look at
you
the
could
mage
probably
hand.
raise it up more.
I mean, this doesn't cost me anything to do. So.
Yeah, sure.
But I have a dumb idea. Is there any crates or otherwise in this room?
That's all that's in here.
I'm gonna grab a heavy crate and put it on the dais.
You'd have to bring it from the other room, which means opening that door that you closed.
The crates are in the first.
Remember, you open the secret door.
All crates.
Also, it's way back there.
Yeah. Back in the storage room that you first found.
I don't have anything heavy enough on me.
Are we assuming?
I'm more than willing to encourage you to do right after I roll this.
Are we assuming that they've...
The DM is encouraging us to our deaths.
Are we all assuming that they've been taken through the tapestry into some sort of...
I have no reason to believe that.
But the claw marks... go into this room?
Yeah, but how's that big bird and them supposed to get past this?
I mean, they're probably all in cahoots.
Flew across without touching the dais.
I was freaking out there for a minute when the music started. I was like,
Some sneaky jazz.
Yeah, I figured this was good for whatever the heck we're doing in this place.
Sneaky jazz
Well-
music.
Alright. Well,
would y'all like to ponder this till the next game,
My
or would you
sundial
like to
says we have
continue to
8 minutes.
investigate?
Jasper,
We have 8 minutes to make a decision.
yeah, Jasper's gonna say a prayer to the Tree Father. You know, he wants some divine intervention here, so he's gonna
Roll
say a
it.
little prayer and just ask for guidance. Should he go further trying to save? I think I have a +0 to religion, so it's gonna be all the die. 13. Just wondering how to.
a sudden twig comes blowing out of the tapestry and smacks you in the face.
You don't get that kind of answer. You just get some sort of intuition that the how do I put it?
You could tell us bluntly. Go
You
into the
get
paint.
you get an intuition. You get an intuition. Tapestry goes someplace
Yeah, I do have
like
that
somebody else's realm,
Mhm.
like a god realm.
I mean,
Oh boy.
what's one more trespass after we've already trespassed, right?
Do I get a bad feeling about this realm or a good feeling about this realm?
There's not a negative, positive feeling about it.
Oh boy, it goes.
It's fairly mundane.
Yeah.
You have a very neutral response about the dimensional
Well-
portal.
I mean, when you look through, there's nothing fantastical about it.
Yeah.
The colors aren't off. It's just golden grass in high summer. You know, bright with wind blowing through it, and it. You know, every detail of is there. As soon as you hung it up to its full height, it animated and started.
I'm just looking at
reacting.
each of the three of you in turn, just being like, just trying to gauge your opinion on other realms, because I know that you guys went to some other
It's,
We are a bit
realm of
self-taught.
existence, and I'm just like,
yeah.
so are we doing this, or is this
It
a
seems a lot
bad
more
thing, or-
pleasant. Seems a lot more pleasant than the last one we went to.
I'm gonna turn to Jasper.
There's even smells on the breeze. You smell the hot, dry grass. You know,
That's nice.
it's sweet breeze.
Jasper.
You see things flying in the distance over the mountains.
What are they?
You know,
I
just
agree.
crazy details of reality.
I will agree to going through that questionable portal
Right.
if we go and talk to that painting after this.
I'm in.
You can.
why
talk to the
is that
painting.
part of the steal?
If you want to talk to the painting, you can talk to the painting.
Would you like some scotch to help with your decision? Insight?
We all know that it
I
won't.
find it helps my decision-making process.
Wait, does it? You don't even get drunk from that, Hargis. We've seen you go through literal gallons.
There's always hope.
Springs eternal.
You're more like drinking out depression that you're not getting drunk from it.
All right, I've been hoarding the good stuff. And he starts pulling out his skin. Would you like a squirt of this?
Oh boy.
Where did you pull that? Was that in your trousers?
I have 3 of them. No, under the cloak. What do you think I got all these pockets for?
All right.
I just realized that Hargis's normal stance looks a lot larger, and it's because he's been carrying extra wineskins under.
Trouser wine. Oh.
Ergonomic.
Let's just ask ourselves,
It's a
how
bit warmer when
badly,
you put it on your body like that. Did you?
what
How
do we have to gain for going into this tapestry of another world that hopefully has an exit? But what do we have to gain? I mean, possibly finding the lady folk, right?
Right.
We're currently married.
Well, Hargis sobers up. Hey, there is mischief afoot, and it's mischief that is tampering with deity's temple. That should not stand. I don't know what y'all's allegiances are, but I would say there's some shenanigans going on here that no god would approve of. And it makes me wonder what coercion the priests here are under.
You know, I think if Jord really cares, he's going to smite them himself.
I don't know.
The gods don't directly intervene that often.
How do you know they isn't intervene?
I mean, we are here.
This sounds really political right now.
Two dwarves and a gnome and a bard of all the gods.
How about this? And I'm going to pull out a coin.
Okay.
Heads, we go in.
Right.
Oh.
Tails.
We're leaving it up to fate now.
Or divine intervention.
Yes. Well, actually, this is the trick that I learned from my dad. If I flip the coin, and we get an answer from it that we don't really like, that means that we wanted to do the other anyways.
Right.
So then we go with that one. So and if we get the one that we did want, then we're really happy about it. And then we go with that.
Gotcha.
Just helps you decide.
Helps you figure out what you want.
Very good logic to it.
That's actually...
All right.
This is a real trick I use in real life, by the way.
Highs heads, lows tails.
Heads I win, tails you lose.
So, heads, we go in. Tails, where is my coin?
Oh, you got a real coin, okay.
Yeah, the coin that I usually use that's near my desk. Okay. Okay. So.
Heads we go in.
Heads we go in. Tails we leave.
Right.
And pretend and let the other adventurers figure it out.
Go through the creepy portal to the summer place.
Hey, there's an idea. We could go back to those adventuring parties and tell them about this place.
Just see how
they can go in at their leisure.
There's part of me that really wants you to...
We could charge them for the information. They could go in. No danger to us.
There's a mystic treasure called Queensonite.
So,
all right.
So... we leave.
Okay.
Is that what the...
Because I got heads and I realized I wasn't happy about the answer.
Well, I guess
that is a good trick. I like that trick.
Flint?
God.
It's entertaining tonight.
Actually, I am a bit surprised. I definitely did think that
we're really starting to break into Monty Python here.
Of all people, I thought Bran would be the heads rushing in. So if Bran's having second thoughts, maybe that's a sign that we should rethink this because of
brave Sir Robin.
Listen, people die all the time. Nobody misses them.
Actually, be forced to eat the minstrel.
That place seems pleasant enough.
That was me talking. So we start rolling up the tapestry, putting it back, and then we're just like, okay.
Is getting the tapestry out of here feasible? Could we pull the tapestry to us and get out of here with the tapestry?
It's a little over, it's like 11 feet long, the box is. The tapestry itself, without the rod, is about 10 feet long.
Uh-huh.
So, you got a strange question.
It weighs at least 50 pounds.
We couldn't get the tapestry past the creature, right?
Right.
Right.
But, since it's a portal, if it's open, we lay it on top, and then grab it and pull it up the other way. Will that work?
That's true. That might work if you could do it. It's worth trying.
Mage hand. Let's try this.
Let's try. We drape the portal tapestry over
with mage hand?
Yeah.
I mean, two of us could carry it, right?
True.
Just one at each end.
There's a good chance that the thing will attack us.
Attack a tapestry.
Yeah.
Well, we could roll it up first.
That's an interesting notion, and nobody's come up with before.
Well,
usually they just slay the darkness and move on.
I mean, I was taught to respect artwork. And artwork that moves and threatens you, I think really deserves respect.
it is a
Oh,
pretty
there's
impressive
some buggery going on here for sure.
I mean, if it straight up attacked us, I'd fight back. But I feel like I'm provoking it if I initiate. You know,
Right?
I kind of just want to let it be, and
It's doing its own thing. You know.
yeah, it's not hurting anyone. It's just sitting here, right?
Well, and it, by all
We weren't invited here.
Yeah, it's the statue's house for all intents and
And
purposes.
we're not even
just breaking
we're not
into
even
his house and
100%
stealing his
sure that they're
tapestries.
on the other side of this portal. I mean,
Maybe whatever is enslaved in Jade is just doing what it's forced to do.
Right,
you know?
right, yeah.
right?
Exactly.
We can't kill it for doing its job.
His job was working the 9 to 5.
I know. Yeah. What is bondage about?
We can't kill people just because they're doing their job. Exactly,
Right.
Bran.
Yeah, unless they deserve it.
And who
Yes, and
needs a
this
fortune
it's
in
like
jade and
others
gold?
don't deserve it, in my opinion.
All right.
I mean, it's somewhat subjective from time to time. I mean, if it attacked us, then it deserves it, right?
Exactly.
If it was attacking others, then I think it probably deserved it.
Exactly.
If it was threatening others, then it got its just jumps.
But we're here in its house,
Stealing.
invading in its space.
Well,
We're home invaders.
We're having this conversation as we're rolling
Trying
up the
to
tapestry, and we're gonna take
Yeah.
it.
It's been all these years sitting in this place, hoping for company, and then what does the company do?
steal its rug.
You know,
Oh,
I wanted to say hi to it, but then it went fing, and I was like,
That rug
maybe
really
that's how
tied
it
the room
greets
together
people.
too.
Did you forget how Sean greets people?
oh yeah.
We learned that the traditional greeting for orcs is to run up and hack them to pieces. That's how you say hello.
Really
From
deserted
our
his
orc
guests.
companion.
Yeah, in our other
campaign.
game.
you don't want to pass up lunch when it presents itself.
That's
All
how
right.
I say hi. But
All right, so
I'll
we're,
take it.
we're lugging it out of here.
We're trying to
I
get the
think-
rug.
I think you can. I think you can do the manage that. I have actually never encountered that solution. So,
You're welcome.
if you can manage to get it over it,
Yeah.
the thing is, it won't slide. Are you going to lift up the backside
Yeah.
and then roll the thing
Yeah, yeah.
up
Yeah.
and roll it
Lift
off
the
the bed?
backside
Backside,
and-
yeah.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Is that what it is?
Good job.
Is
Wow.
that what it is?
This is actually this is what I do for work, is think outside the box kind of a
There
thing.
you go.
Um,
That's like the MO of every game. Okay.
By the
Now,
way, we're going to the top, and we're just going to jump off and feather fall off of this place rather than go the other long way back.
well, there's a hiccup, and that is that you're 10 foot. If you climb these stairs, you're 10 feet from the top of the chimney.
Oh,
I'm not. Wait,
I
I'm
have
not
some
understanding.
I've got my magnet boots. I could
Right.
walk up the side.
I can also. I was planning on waiting until we got here. I can actually tap into some resources and regain my polymorph, and I could pretty easily fly up one at a time that way.
And Hargus can fly.
so we're absconding
Sounds like
with
it's
this.
not a problem then.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're absconding with this tapestry then.
Yes.
All right.
We'll take
Mission
it.
can do that.
accomplished. Let's move.
We'll take it back to our place, and
Is this our mission though? Like, why are we taking
I
this?
honestly don't know.
I think they're inside the tapestry. I think they're inside
All
the
right.
tapestry.
Well,
If they're
Right.
not, we know where to return it, and we have an easier way of getting back.
I
We
think
fly
they're
back
inside
in
it.
the dead of night, and we put it back.
Scope diggery!
Down. I think I'll just drop it down this stairway if we do that. But
I thought I would be terribly disappointed, but I'm oddly pleased.
All right. So, Hargus, you've got fly. How many people can you cast fly on?
I'm fine, and I pull two handles on my boots, and then I just start walking up the wall.
Pull out my harp and start playing a Devil Went.
Okay.
Devil went down
It'd be a great flying song.
Devil went down to.
Devil went down to Georgia looking for a stone steel.
Went down to.
Looking for a tapestry to steal.
White Fork.
White Fork.
Yeah.
Devil went down to White Fork looking for a soul to steal. Yeah.
Okay, so Jasper will.
Asmodeus went down to White Fork
Convert
for a soul to steal.
six sorcery
It's not time.
points.
This is Hargus's lore story. This is his background story. This is how he became Hargus.
He went down to White Fork.
Ooh, that would be fascinating.
I now have a new voice in my head for Hargus.
Sounds
When
good.
he was young.
All right, so is
I
that
always
where
see
we end,
Hargus
or-
as like
Yeah,
in the
so I
meaning
guess
of
we
life in
end
the
with-
faculty versus student soccer game.
Yeah.
So I guess we end with us flying out into the moon set with
A giant rug.
with a giant rug.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well,
how many people can
you
you
were-
fly on?
you were
With
not
a giant bird
detected.
that night within 3 days.
Because you did this during the day, you are not detected. And as you're flying over the city, well, that's an issue. So what are you doing once you get out of the chimney and
This is
start flying, doing the flying nun thing over the entire city with this
This is
tapestry?
daytime? I thought. This is
You remember it was just after lunch, so it's about 3:00.
That's true.
I gave you an hour, so I think y'all said 2 hours.
I thought we had to wait
About
around.
3:00 when you entered in. So you spent at least an hour. Let's say 2 hours. So it's about 5:00.
Makes sense.
Um,
We don't have to fly very high. We could just
But you're
hover
pretty high.
over the rooftop.
Unless you lower down on. Well, I'm not going to give you solutions.
Yeah. Well.
Well, Hargus is the one who's flying, right?
I
Or
mean,
no,
if nothing else, we could unfurl the tapestry and look like one of those planes with the
Oh, jeez.
banner behind it.
Oh, I don't know if that would be a good idea.
Just
Pour that
sucking
to another
things into a
plane.
portal. How many people can
Could be
Hargus
worse.
cast fly
I could
on?
throw in a bag of holding or something else like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people can?
Well, I'm
cast
just thinking
fly
about wind resistance and all that stuff.
Oh,
on? Oh, boy, that gets into some weird dynamics. Hargus, how many people can you cast fly on?
I don't have an answer to that because it's connected to the harp.
You don't.
It's one of the powers of the harp.
oh,
Spell.
it's the charges from the harp.
It's
It's
level
the
Correct.
max
3 spell.
Perdith.
probably
remember.
just at base level, so probably just one person.
Yeah.
I can climb out.
Well, it's
You
not
could
like-
cast
it's not getting
invisibility
out.
after
That's-
we
that's the
start
good
flying
stuff.
out. That would probably work the best.
No, because
I'm not sure if he has
you can't
enough.
make enough people invisible.
Yeah.
So maybe I haven't understood it. Have we? I thought we climbed to the top of the temple. And
Yes.
I'm imagining we're still inside a giant dwarven cavern, or are we?
Do
So you know what? We'll add another hour. So it's like 6:00 in the evening.
Okay, but are we inside
Because
the
I
mountain
didn't-
still?
Okay. Hear me out.
I don't know where we are.
Ryan.
I don't know where we are.
Well,
right
let me
now.
tell you where you are
We're
right
on
quick.
top of the temple, but are we out in the blue air now?
No. Let's stop at the point where, remember you had that platform launch.
Right.
I'll call it a launching
Yeah,
platform
on top of the temple.
within the chimney. And then from there you are sorting out how you're going to get down. Because you got to go 10 foot up to get over the top out of the chimney.
And where's the chimney
then-
get out to?
The chimney overlooks it's basically the top of the temple. You don't know there's a chimney there unless you're in the building,
Uh-huh.
but it's basically the top of the temple is open to the sky, and so Ord can look down upon his faithful.
Okay, so we can
And,
either exit the mountain and go into the blue air above and go somewhere from there. Or we can go
Correct.
off the landing and go over the city.
If you go off the launch,
Yeah, the launch.
You would go back down into the temple, like where the drapes and everything were.
Oh, that goes
Right.
into the temple. Not
Right.
Okay. So that's still inside the temple, and to get out.
Correct.
Okay. Gotcha. So we have to go up that 10 feet, which is not a problem. That's really easy. It's just what we do after that, which is Marcus can cast fly on one person and carry Jasper. Jasper could cast polymorph on one of you two and feather fall so that you'd be lighter, and then you could carry the tapestry between the flying person and the polymorph person as a giant flying creature.
Here's an idea as well.
Yeah.
Whoever you cast polymorph on, turn them into a giant bird.
Right.
And if Hargus can, just make the other three of us invisible. Doesn't he make the bird?
He can't make 3 people invisible. He can make 1 person fly. We need more flying. The bird can't carry 3 people.
If he can make 1 person
I have
fly,
polymorph at 3rd level.
You have polymorph?
I do.
It's a 4th level spell.
Well, 4th level then.
You used your 4th level to make us all invisible. Yeah.
That's right. So
at
at this point,
at 3rd level,
he
could still make 2 people invisible instead.
Right. But we're still in a problem of getting people moving off of a very high platform, and we're going to try and fly over the city to get to a safe spot.
Right.
So only one person polymorph doesn't get us enough flying people to escape from this area. We need at least 2 people flying.
Well, Flint can walk.
Just down the side of the temple into the temple courtyard?
Does anybody have feather fall?
Yeah, we could fall down, but we don't want to fall down into the temple grounds, right? We want to get some clearance.
Once you got over the lip, you could feather fall. If you could climb the 10 feet, you could feather fall down the side of the chimney, down the side of the temple.
And it looks like an area down there where we could get down there without people being around to see us fall into the...
Yeah, if you go to the side and stay close to the mountain, you won't be near as obvious as if you were...
I think we might need to just end there, and then Scott can draw a diagram of what the temple looks like from the top and the side, so we can know, because I think we're all picturing it differently, and it may be a lot more simple than we think.
But it sounds like we can just jump off the side of this thing into an area to the side of the temple where we can get into cover without too much trouble, is what I'm understanding.
Hargus Scott needs to think about what on earth we're doing to his campaign.
No, it's fine. I'm actually excited. Y'all came up with a totally different solution than has ever came up with before.
Have you run this adventure before?
Yeah, I've done it 3 or 4 times just because usually as just like a minor encounter, kind of a starting adventure.
That's always fun because it's so funny to see people do it completely different. I've done that before too.
I've used it different ways. I liked it. And it's novel, and all the things that are so formidable have really easy solutions that make sense with them.
Was there a
big
switch
on
the back of
the green statue? When I was down there in that room before, and then hid him inside of one of the boxes, then taken his clothing, worn it, and then gone outside.
These simple solutions.
Well, now, is there a simple solution when you adventurers? There isn't. You better have 20 simple solutions.
The simple doesn't create a good story for the bar later. That's what
So if it's 10 foot up, we could easily give each other boosts to the lip and pull up and do that and go up that way. So we could all stand.
And I'll attempt to describe it one more time.
Yeah, and we could just
imagine
the edge.
This is just literally a giant skylight.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's 4 stories up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the size of the building because the main worship area is one large room. And this is the roof ceiling of the temple area, right?
Right.
Right.
When you went through that door, you discovered there was basically a back door that went all the way up, and the exit is at the top of the skylight.
Right.
So you basically have like one chimney here, and then you have another chimney that goes up and pokes into it there. I'll draw it. I'll be glad to draw it.
Yeah.
But
So we can get to the top and then just jump off the side of the temple and get off into an area that
I
way.
would think that'd be easy. Hargis has a hook and rope.
Well, and I've got Featherfall, so we could all just jump off and land in the
Yeah.
street, no problem.
I've got magnet boots.
Okay,
The
so
only issue is
I've got
traversing,
my axe.
accomplishing all that with this
Giant rug,
10-foot long, 50-foot-pound tapestry.
yeah.
Oh dear.
And again, I could polymorph and just fly the tapestry back to our hotel if you want to do
I
that.
think these terrible jokes are the whole reason I'm single.
But keep in mind, it's 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's not dark yet.
It's not twilight yet.
Not twilight yet. Oh,
I mean, I guess twilight would be the term. It's not dark yet.
you could make me invisible, and I could fly it back to the hotel, to the inn while I'm invisible.
Yeah,
Hargis, if you
we
want to
could do that.
You guys want to do that?
If that's what you want to do.
That's a good idea. Let's
Okay.
do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Polymorph yourself.
we do
Make
this
said
quickly.
polymorphed
Invisible.
form invisible,
Mhm.
and then we can all just get off the roof and pretend
let's-
like we own the place.
If
We
you
saw
want-
nothing.
Yeah. If you want, you can jump off, and I can feather fall you down.
The only issue for Hargis
I'll
is
just walk
he has
down the wall.
one fourth
I
level
mean, I
spell.
could
and
disguise
he's already
myself as
used
one
it.
of the
Yeah.
priests. Just descending
Yeah.
if we need.
All right.
But
I will
all right.
convert 6 sorcery points into 1 level 4 spell slot. I will turn myself into a giant flying praying mantis, and I will.
Yeah, that's not conspicuous.
Well, he's going to make me invisible, so. I grab the rug with 4 of my legs. And,
Just holding the giant
in the-
thing
in the
there.
front one.
Yeah.
Accidentally snips it.
Yeah. And Hargis can turn him invisible, and then he'll fly back to our inn hotel room.
Perfect.
Well, I'm looking for my invisibility spell.
It's a level
I
3.
think it's a fourth level. Oh, it's level 3? Oh,
3.
then I can throw it all day.
Yep.
I could actually throw it on all y'all.
No,
It's concentration, so you'd only do one person at a time.
Yep,
Oh, I got
that's
you.
where it gets
Okay,
you.
that's what we'll do.
And then
Okay.
each level lets you do one more person. So
Okay, so
simultaneously.
I invisibly fly back as a giant praying mantis with my tapestry cargo, and
Oh my God! Where is this going to go now?
I don't know. You're the DM.
Not
That's
me.
your job.
I think we're
to
still
figure out
going
what
into the
has
tapestry.
to you.
Yeah, I think we're still going in.
I think my inner voice my inner voice is out.
Yeah, I think we're
His inner
doing.
Did I
voice
say that out loud?
is shot. Just this is Hargis' inner voice.
Yeah, I think we're doing the same thing, just with more steps.
There you go. Yeah.
Listen, we
Story
only
of
enter
every
portals
player.
Talk is
on
full of
our
jade.
terms.
It's an excellent solution. I think if I was giving out XPs, I'd say you gained experience for circumventing the Jade Guardian.
I think
you,
the word for this is complicating the DM story. This
Well,
poor Jade Guardian is like, now that everybody's gone, goes, really? I mean, what am I supposed to? Am I supposed to guard now?
Just silently shrugs his shoulders.
Guarded it then.
Unbuckles it. It's like, I knew the wizard that asked me
The
to do
Jade
this.
statue
Super stupid and just
was discovered during their renovation of the building,
Yeah,
along with the secret room and this other entrance.
interesting.
And then their guests decided that would be a great way to get safeguard their
Their nice new tapestry.
Relic.
Well, little did they know, they didn't think outside the box.
Well, you literally have it outside the box now, so
Quite literally.
yeah.
Did they all make
All
it
right.
back to the inn safely after?
Well, I do have a couple of rolls I need to make.
Well, we can find that out next time on...
Somebody's going to have a new drinking story.
Yeah.
On
But otherwise, nobody saw y'all.
Questionable Companion's Adventure Guide.
Otherwise, nobody saw y'all. Hargis, assuming everybody would have the same plan, you flew back invisibly. Hargis just got swiftly to the ground along the side of the mountain and then walked back. And
I wonder if I can roll a deception check. If any dwarfs did see me and I start quacking like a duck, they just think they've had one tankard too many.
well, certainly color the story.
Pretty standard practice. The dwarf quacking.
Well, how much did that duck weigh?
I swear it couldn't have been a dwarf. The beard was too small.